going on?
No matter how far you go into the dark, when you flip, you go exactly the same place to the light in our galaxy. Everything. Because everything is in balance. Everything is a polarity.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.
There we are. What the hell is going on, everyone? Welcome. We are officially 7 days, 1 week away from Contact in the Desert 2026. I'm excited. Are you guys excited? This is the first time I've ever been to something like this. It's the first time I'm ever going to be in the United States of America. And it's safe to say that, yes, I am definitely excited. So I thought what we would do is basically something a little bit different. It's good to change it up every now and then. And we're going to be doing a full review of all the speakers, the venue, the food. I think most people are going to be excited about that one. And also the merch, which I only just discovered. And it's honestly pretty cool. So that's what we're going to be doing today. And I did find something literally just minutes before the stream started that I thought would be a cool way to start off tonight's show. So that we're going to be looking at a news clip from last year. CNN did like an 8-minute piece on it. We got a clip from Red Panda Koala that we're going to check out here. As well, we were live earlier today on Twitch. Thank you for everyone that's coming over and enjoying the content over there. It's a lot of fun doing something a little bit different. And we're likely going to be staying live over there once this show is finished, where we can just kind of hang out. If you guys want to send in your videos, the members can do that as well. So a lot of fun tonight. Looking forward to it. Let's jump over to the screen here. And I can probably blow this up a little bit for you guys. Make sure you can see it. I think that should be okay. So this is from 2025, CNN talking about Contact in the Desert. Here we go.
Greetings. Do you all come in peace? We're all fellow Earthlings here. Oh, we're out here because we're looking for UFOs. We're also looking for what is not a UFO.
I just put it right over it, and then...
Oh, see that one?
That was a bird, I think.
Oh. I knew I was going to be an astronomer when I was 9 years old. Okay? I actually had a missing time event. I lost a whole day, and it put me in the hospital. And I thought, boy, this universe is something crazy up there. I have to keep looking up.
We are here in the California desert on our way to Contact in the Desert, the biggest gathering of ufologists in the world.
Here, we're light years past the question whether we are alone in the universe. The stuff that might sound crazy to you and me is pretty standard here.
Perfect.
Instead, people share stories of encounters.
It was like light,
Abductions.
Okay, I have this theory, and judging from that, I think it might apply to America as well. But I have this theory in Australia that when something happens out in public and, you know, the news crew goes out to, like, you know, boots on the ground and interview the people that are around, I swear that they always go for the kookiest ones, not because they want information, but because they want to get funny sound clips out of them. Funny little interview segments, funny little sound bites. And it's really not about the information. It's about making people go like, haha, that guy looks crazy, or something like that. I swear it's definitely a thing in Australia. I feel like it's probably a thing in America too.
very tall Nordic-looking beings, and had a couple of little short grays on each side.
And things they just can't explain.
That's cool.
When you see orbs dancing in the sky like they're skipping across water, that's not military.
But there is still one debate to be
Might
had.
be.
Everybody's talking about what the Trump administration is going to tell the world about UFOs. Stephen, you say we're on the cusp of a major disclosure event.
The disclosure event.
The disclosure event.
Right.
This was last year, by the way.
Brought about by...
The disclosure president is going to be Donald Trump. And the reason for that is he is the president who got the last chair when the music stopped. The first head of state that confirms that we're not alone
He's the president who got the last chair when the music stopped. That's an interesting analogy. What does that mean?
It's one of the greatest political legacies
What's the
of
music?
all time. Do you think he's the kind of president who might enjoy having a credible legacy like that? And I think so.
Trump didn't make this massive announcement in his first term.
Right.
What gives you confidence that he'll do it this time around?
Second time around, right? This time not with a lot of carryovers that are in there to kind of keep them, you know, guardrails and crap. Now this is maybe the most important thing I can tell you right now.
People are saying musical chairs. No, I understand the analogy, but what does the music represent? Okay, he's saying he got the last chair when the music stopped. Like, what does the music represent in the realm of like UFOs, aliens, and disclosure? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to say, what is the analogy here?
Anna Polina Luna, she says, the UAP issue is the most bipartisan investigation in the history of the United States.
We'll be conducting investigations into the following.
As part of Trump's and Republicans' promises for greater transparency on everything from JFK to Jeffrey Epstein to UFOs, a congressional task force was created on the declassification of federal secrets.
Yes, Dean.
Chaired by Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna.
I would say some of the most optimistic people we've spoken to here this week have said they think Trump is going to come out an Oval Office address and say, here it is.
No, because that's not been the pattern of our government dealing with this topic.
Jeremy Corbell has dedicated his life to helping government whistleblowers come forward with their own experiences of UFOs and UAPs. He played a role in releasing the highly publicized Tic Tac UFO footage that was brought before the House Oversight Committee in 2023.
Here's the deal, man. Disclose what? You want disclosure? Disclose what? What do they know? And so maybe they don't have all the answers, and maybe that's part of the reason there's been a secrecy on this. If you looked, the first congressional hearing in over 50 years happened a number of years ago now, and we've had multiples. So that optimism and that push for transparency on this UAP issue has been effective. So I can see why people are optimistic. I don't feel the same way. I haven't seen evidence that the new administration, new-ish administration, is actually going to make good on that promise.
But government disclosure isn't the only area of disagreement here. While some are enthusiastic about the potential of contact with life beyond Earth, others are fearful.
What happens is literally people are going to die of fright. They won't understand it. But those of us that do, we know what's going on.
Yeah, like Jillian Michaels.
And we'll be ready to step in.
So you're a prepper now?
Yeah, we're a prepper.
What does that look like here? Supplies?
I've got about 6 to 8 months worth of food. I can store enough water for probably 6 weeks, preparing for the day the sun goes down, then all of a sudden the sky lights up like the sun's coming up, but it's not coming up. And when that day happens, everybody will realize that something weird's going on.
Damn, that'd be spooky, huh? I mean, if someone doesn't, if he said, people who aren't ready for this, they're going to need help from the people that are. If when this all happens and the sun doesn't come up tomorrow finally, and it all hits us with catastrophic disclosure, if Jillian Michaels needs any assistance, I will volunteer to help her. Okay, I will take one for the team and do that.
The group we spoke to is attempting to form a militarized sovereign nation that will work with extraterrestrials to unite us. They have a countdown clock on their website to what they call cosmic revelation.
He's number 6 in the frequency tone. So
they believe aliens see us by our cosmic identity, determined by our date of birth.
March 24th, what year?
91.
1991. You are a white overtoned dog.
I've been told that.
What'd you call me? I am a galactic dog.
Ah.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet Woof.
Woof. There you go. That's right.
You've had a lot of encounters.
Continuously.
Continuously.
Yeah, and I.
This lady here in the background, I've seen her on Gaia, and I just remember her because I guess she's got a bit of a unique look, and she was saying wild shit, and I can't remember exactly what she was saying. But I just remember listening to her, and she was wearing like military type style jacket and uniform. And I was listening to her going like, and it's just like, how is this happening? Like, how are people talking about like galactic federations and secret space programs in what appears to be US military uniform of some kind. Like, it feels like there's parallel realities.
I met the enclave of extraterrestrials we work with when they walked into our facility in Port Orchard, Washington. So she interacts with them way more than I do, but I have met them.
You know, is it somebody sitting in a room with you? Is it
just gotten home, got in bed, was comfortable, thought I was just going to go off to sleep, and all of a sudden my TV screen split.
This one.
And a gray walked through it.
See what I mean? TV screen split, gray walked through it. It's just like, okay, fair enough. Josh watches Gaia. No, I wouldn't say I watched Gaia, but I have watched it, and you know, there's episodes around online and stuff like that. But I have had a subscription for a short amount of time.
And said to me, unite and come together. That this is the thing that will save Earth from what's coming.
Bringing people together.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
There's a widespread message of unity here, but also one of urgency.
I feel like if this is the truth that came out, it would heal a lot of things. It would bring a lot of people together.
That an encounter could make us better humans.
People, we were hugging and kissing and crying. And that event made me a more, honestly, made a kinder, more gentle person.
And that not disclosing proof of extraterrestrial life could have apocalyptic consequences.
How will you feel if we get to the end of this Trump term and nothing's changed? There's no disclosure, there's no big announcements.
I'm not going to mince words. We will have a nuclear war before the end of the Trump term.
Jesus. Why does this guy look like Christos from the Truman Show? If he had the beret on and an earpiece, he would literally look exactly like the meme that's like, now tell them aliens are real and give 500 billion to Israel. You know the meme.
We're dancing on the edge of the volcano. It's coming at us from 18 different directions. There's like 9 or 10 things that could trigger tomorrow.
This disclosure is the only thing that will prevent
That's right.
nuclear war.
This is boom.
Way to bring the room down, bro.
Everybody that's got access to any kind of a media around the world, which is 8 billion people, is going to know we're not alone. This is a paradigm shift, but it's really a worldview change.
Yeah.
People will start fixing things. They will start able to fix things they couldn't before because they were locked into an earlier worldview. And one of the things we have to fix, we have to get rid of the nukes. We've got to end the massive military that's spending untold trillions of dollars while people starve to death. These kind of things are doable.
For many here, whether Trump's government discloses what it really knows is of lesser importance. The truth is coming anyway.
If you told someone this 20 years ago, how do you think they would have reacted?
They say you're crazy.
Like Jillian Michaels. Bro is all in. Yeah, I know. It's like people who are so convicted. Like this guy's like, I'm not going to mince words. If we don't have disclosure, it's nuclear war. Like, if that happens, if we get there, there's no disclosure, there's no nuclear war, we need to hold this man accountable. We have to. We have to. You can't speak like that without facing consequences. That's why you should always be open to, you know, all the possibilities, unless you know for a fact. And if you do, then that raises even more questions.
Thank you. That's why.
So what's changed?
This community.
Community.
Yep. Our community. This community. That's what changed.
Yeah.
People waking up and going, we need to talk about this. I'm like, yes, we do. We need to talk about it a lot. Because it's coming whether we are ready or not. So.
Back in the desert, UFO enthusiasts are still looking, with a couple of attendees suggesting the conference itself might have had an encounter.
We got some really strange phenomena. So they're all up there, the presenters.
Right.
And then we're taking these pictures up. We get this stuff on it.
Oh, it looks like a face.
Yeah, it does. But there's another one that even looks more like a face. What?
There we go. That was Contact 2025. And it looks like I don't know, is this like a like a sky watching event or something like that? I think there's going to be one of those this year again with Chris Bledsoe, maybe even a couple of others. I'm really looking forward to that. And like they said on Twitch the other day, some of you guys might know this story about in like the 70s, there was allegedly an interrupted TV broadcast in the UK by someone called Rillian of the Ashtar Galactic Command, and he's, you know, it's a wild story. but basically he interrupted a TV transmission and basically gave a message to humanity. And there's like law around this, right? Sounds crazy, but what the alleged message is, and you know, the same things that these guys were talking about here, is that it's all about like humanity becoming peaceful, needing to put the weapons away and like come together. It's all about unity, right? You can almost say it's like a bit of like a postmodern hippie movement. But the thing is, it's then like, it's also like sandwiched together with a lot of other like claims and stuff that no one can back up. Like no one can verify a lot of this stuff. So then when we start talking about like, is it interdimensional? Is it consciousness, et cetera, et cetera? What I think is interesting is like, would we be actually better off just living in this world that has no proof? We could even call it like going a little bit Delulu, if it means unity. Like if we can all just agree on something and not need proof to do it, but it means we can all come together and be happy and put weapons down and all this kind of thing, but we're all a bit delusional. Would you want to do that? I think I would. I think I would. Because if everyone's delusional, it kind of just becomes the new baseline anyway, and it doesn't matter. So I think we should all just become a little bit delusional and just learn to get along. Learn to get along. Infinite Realms, Contact in the Desert 2026. We are 1 week away. And I actually stole the caption of this video from the LA Times, who refers to it as the Coachella of UFOs. Tabby says, I'm delusional anyway. Don't worry, Tabby, you're not alone. I think most of us are. The event is being held at the Renaissance, I believe it is. If you guys can't make it, you can purchase a virtual pass. They're not cheap, but you can if you want to, if you really want to see what's going on over there. Let's take a look at the venue before we get into the speakers. So actually, I think there's some really good pictures here. So this is the hotel. I don't know if this is like a, you know, like a baseline average hotel for Palm Springs, or what is it? Palm Springs? Indian Wells. But it looks really nice. Looks very nice. These rooms look huge. Like the executive suite, governor's suite, presidential star suite, choice of views, fountain and pool. Wow. Look at this. This looks like the house that Billy Madison grew up in. Got a pool, fire pit. Very, very nice. It is expensive though, but I do think next year, I'm not staying here, unfortunately. A lot of people do stay here. This is where the event is, so it would make sense to stay there. I'm not staying there. But next year, I would like to stay here. Absolutely. And here it is, Renaissance Esmeralda Resort. So it's really not far from, like, there you go, Joshua Tree National Park. It's basically, I guess that's where they get the name, right? In the desert. It's literally just straight in the desert in a little patch of grass off to the side. Fantastic. So let's, should we do food first? No, I think we should do food. We'll do food and merch at the end. Well, let's get into the actual schedule. So this goes for 5 days, I believe, but I think it's 4 days of, actually, no, I could be wrong. It could actually be 5 full days of, oh, it's still loading. Yeah, I think it's 5 full days of event. That resort gives me cult compound vibes. It does a little bit, but like I said, if we could just manage to go a little bit Delulu, it probably doesn't matter. We can all get along, and that's what I'm here for. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It is a full 5-day event. First day, you guys see all this okay? Yeah. First day kicking off with a tour of the grounds with Katie Page. I think maybe Katie is one of the sort of event organizers, perhaps. A walk around the grounds of Contact in the Desert 2025 with speaker Katie Page. She'll familiarize you with all of the presentation rooms and special event locations for the weekend. So that's for the diehards. I probably will be there, but it's for the diehards because it's literally midday on a Thursday, basically just to open up the event and show everyone around. But then we are straight into it with a 50-minute lecture from the Bilbo Baggins of Disclosure, Danny Sheehan. And look how good this sounds, by the way. This will be a short and sweet recap, not only of how we have gotten to where we are now from Philip Corso in 1945 through Roswell, Project Grudge, et al., the 50s Flaps, and Blue Book, to December 17th, 2017, New York Times, Elizondo, Mellon reveal of the Pentagon UFO program, David Grush, and Senate UAP Controlled Disclosure Act, to November 2025 oversight hearing, to the present May 1st public disclosure of the ROUAP Space Tiger Team deployment. So we're kicking it off with a comprehensive overview of right back until Roswell, until the modern day, and from Danny Sheehan as well, which I think will be great to listen to him speak about that. Oh, yeah, there it is. Sorry. Then there's this. Now you got to pay extra for this. This isn't included in your ticket. Giant rock and integration. I feel like the budget for the creative team was low. I reckon we could have done a bit better than calling it Giant Rock and integration, but that's okay. $80. Embark on this unique tour and visit 2 historical locations known for Native American lore and UFO history. The Integratron, my apologies. The Integratron, a 38-foot high, 55-foot diameter, all-wooden structure, renowned for its unparalleled acoustics and design for cellular rejuvenation and time travel. Okay. Here we go. I'm already interested. They're selling me. I'll buy it. Here you'll participate in a sound bath session where the soothing tones of quartz crystal singing bowls harmonize within the dome's acoustically perfect environment, promoting deep relaxation and introspection. This combined adventure provides a distinctive blend of natural wonder and holistic healing, leaving you both grounded and revitalized. I need this. I think I actually need to do this. Mavlord, thank you very much for the sub on Twitch. Legend. I genuinely think I need this. As the world's largest freestanding boulder. What? Freestanding boulder? Okay. I guess Ayers Rock, Uluru, isn't a boulder. It's a space ark. I'm convinced. But I'm sure, yeah, okay. Anyway, the world's largest freestanding boulder, Giant Rock, has been attracting people to this remote area for years. That name's killing me. Local Native American chiefs would gather at this sacred site, believing that the rock served as a messenger for the future of planet Earth. In the early 1930s, German prospector Frank Kritzer made his home under the massive boulder until a scuffle with the law led to his death. So he's basically modeling his home after Patrick Starr, living under a giant boulder. More famously, this is interesting. More famously, Giant Rock is where a young aeronautical engineer named George Van Tassel, if you were in the Twitch stream the other night, you know, made first contact with the Galactic Federation known as Ashtar Command. In 1952, George was forewarned by Ashtar of a pending flyby of extraterrestrial ships over Washington, D.C. Shortly thereafter, this encounter took place and is the most publicly witnessed UFO event in American history. Damn. So this George Van Tassel guy was somehow involved with the story of the lizard catacombs under LA. There's like this famous 1930s story about tunnels discovered under LA that were home to advanced lizard people with like golden artifacts and things like this. Who knows if it's true or not? But we were looking into it the other day on Twitch, and this George Van Tassel was connected to that. A year later, George had a close encounter with an interplanetary visitor who commissioned him to build a frequency-activated cellular rejuvenation machine, which he would later name the Integratron. As an employee of Hughes Aircraft, George took his plans to Howard Hughes, who ended up funding a portion of construction. On our outing to Giant Rock, we will visit this iconic boulder as well as the remains of the airport where George made contact. On the way back, we will stop by the Integratron where you will experience a short frequency session inside its famous sound chamber. Have the opportunity to take photos and shop at their awesome store featuring crystals, candles, and all kinds of Integratron clothing and merch. Excuse me. Giant Rock is truly the place where the first contact in the desert took place, and we're sure you will have an amazing time with your seasoned guides, Eric Rankin and Michelle Anderson. Okay, that honestly sounds really cool. I'm kind of tempted to do this. What is it? It's $80, but it's a full day thing, I believe. So you meet at 12:30. So you got to meet halfway through. You leave at 1 p.m. So basically straight after Danny Sheehan. Takes an hour to get there, and you get back at around 6 p.m., which means you're probably going to miss a lot of the first day if you do that. Let's see what else is on that day. Lecture with Marianne, Rob, and Dave Rich. I don't know who these people are. Anyone in the chat, let me know. The Silence Protocol, First Responders, and Unspoken Encounters. First responders are often the first to confront the unexplained, yet rarely speak about it. In this compelling discussion, we dive into the stigma they face when encountering the unknown, both on and off duty, from UFO and UAP sightings to paranormal events and cryptid encounters. Hear first-hand accounts of some of the most intriguing and rarely shared cases from those on the front lines. That sounds sick as well. So these guys are obviously like police officers or like paramedics or firefighters. I don't know, something like that. Emergency response team, and the stuff that they've rocked up to when I guess they've been called out to a job that is paranormal. I think that sounds really cool. I'm interested in that. Then the next one is Danny Gola, which I know I'm going to want to listen to what he has to say as well. This is the guy that's basically balls deep in DMT experiments with like diffracted lasers and, you know, IV dripping himself into 5-hour DMT experiences. 101 Computational Meditation. In this 101 workshop, we will be combing the fundamentals of meditation. We will discuss what it is, what are its different kinds, and how it connects to the future of technological humanity. That one is included in your pass. Sounds really good. I do think Danny's doing a couple of things, though. So, you know, maybe it's okay if we miss him on one, catch him another day. Maybe I can go see the giant rock. Next one is Parapsychology 101. What nature and non-human intelligence teach us about our own psi abilities. This is with Lisa Puzo Strickland, PhD. Brief description of parapsychology, psionics, psi abilities, and events, and giving personal stories. Discuss what psi occurrences are found within the UAP NHI experience and give reported examples. Introduce the 5 key philosophies and strategies found within nature. That sounds cool. Relate these 5 keys to how science and UAP research are conducted today. How these 5 nature-based philosophies and strategies perfectly mirror psi abilities and events. Okay, this sounds really cool. How to use the 5 keys to boost your own psi abilities, thus uniting psi, UAP, and the universal laws of nature. God damn it. I feel like I'm going to have to go to all of these. They all sound really, really interesting. And we're not even through day 1 yet. It's not even 5 o'clock yet. Maybe he'll do a DMT session. That would be cool. I doubt it, but that would be sick if Danny did some kind of like live DMT diffracted laser. Imagine if they had that set up one day at Contact in the Desert, where they had a room with the laser on the wall. You pay $50, you go in, you just hit the pen, you take a couple of big hits on the pen, and you get to look at the simulation code through the diffracted laser. That would be sick. Good morning, everyone. May the peace of our Lord Jesus Christ be upon you today, and I hope you have a good day. Well, thank you very much, Daddy Green Jeans 93. I appreciate the kind blessings. Alan Steinfeld and Doctors JJ and Desiree Hertak, Extraterrestrials and Our Multidimensional Non-Local Reality. Beam me up, Scotty. Star Trek's Captain Kirk's teleportation depiction is not that far off from how those who have had extraterrestrial contact describe their experience of being taken on board an alien spacecraft. This talk will serve as a gateway that opens to many levels of intelligence, past, present, and future, now on our doorstep. We will examine the ancient aliens who are connected with our own planetary history and our now emerging status as we move from planetary beings to cosmic citizenship. Look, I'll be honest, I hope we all don't get granted cosmic citizenship. I'm trying to leave a bunch of these people behind. I'm not going to lie. Not you guys. We're all good. Let's all become citizens. But there's definitely a few people here that I hope don't get through the gate. That would be fantastic. Mainly the people who are just, you know, war, sacrifice, ritual, Baal, etc., etc. You can stay here. With the growing public realization that non-human intelligent life forms are in our midst, we will further explore our consciousness connection with them. We are also starting to understand that we ourselves are shifting our reality to be more in tune with the greater cosmos and the many levels of intelligence reaching out to us. Man, they know how to sell them. They really know how to sell them. Next up, there is Paul Hynek doing a 101 on DMT. Me and Michael Phillip actually had a good chat about Paul Hynek, Contact in the Desert, and DMT in our last podcast together. So this is a lecture. It says evolution produced DMT in our brains. Nobody knows why. A curious metabolic extravagance that sends human consciousness rocketing out of consensus reality. Then there's the ayahuasca riddle. Indigenous Amazonians thousands of years ago figured out how to combine two plants out of the roughly 80,000 available in the rainforest whose active compounds only work together. That is crazy. One contains DMT. The other contains the precise enzyme inhibitor needed to make it orally active. The odds of stumbling onto that combination by accident are essentially zero. So how did they find it? The Amazonians say the plants told them. The mushrooms told them, perhaps. Paul didn't say that. I said the mushrooms. But, you know, we do hear that. The mushrooms speak to us. Paul draws on his years of ceremonial practice and his deep engagement with researchers like Andrew Gallimore and Danny Gola to explore DMT with the rigor it deserves and the wonder it demands. Oh, and DMT doesn't care if you believe in it. Nice little sign off there. Again, sounds fascinating. Would love to. I've never done DMT, so I have such a curious fascination about it. And I almost feel like, I mean, I'm interested in trying it one day when it feels right, the time is right. But in a way, I kind of like the mystery that I have with it. You know, once I've done it, it's done. You know, now you kind of get it. I kind of like the mystery in a way of not really knowing, but just piecing it together from the stories. Tour of the grounds again with Katie Page. For anyone who is arriving late, you can do another tour at 6 p.m. on the Thursday. And then 7:30 p.m. is Get Into Contact. So it's my understanding that this day, like I said, it's for the diehards. Probably not going to be super busy. I mean, I could be wrong, by the way, but I feel like it probably won't be super busy being a Thursday. So this is the last event on the first night on Thursday. Live DJ, scavenger hunt, drinks, food, and giveaways. Oh, where did that go? Join us Thursday for a fun-filled evening on the Rose Lawn featuring discounted drinks, comedy by Emily Harrison, music by DJ Turnt, games, a Cosmic Church taco bar. I'm in. I'll be at the taco bar. Our famous scavenger hunt. Participate for a chance to win some giveaways, including cool swag, new t-shirts, and night watch equipment. Come join the fun, dance, mingle, and let's get into contact with Captain Ron Janix, which I believe is the event organizer. That, again, these people know how to throw a party. I'm in. I'm sold, and it's not even really officially started yet. This sounds like a fantastic first day. I think if I don't end up going to Giant Rock, I'm definitely going to Danny Sheehan. I would like to listen to Danny Gola. I mean, I'd probably just do all of them. To be honest, I just do everything. Just all sounds great. As well, I had some people, I think it was in the live stream maybe the other day or recently, or maybe it was in Discord. I don't know. We were talking somewhere and people were saying, you know, if it's really true that either A, that they walk among us, aliens, and B, you know, that there are spooks and intel agencies trying to steer the narrative or the conversation, you know, just to make sure it goes in the direction that is acceptable. They're probably going to be there. So, and you know, that's a little bit spooky to think about. Maybe, I mean, I'll keep my eyes peeled. I'll definitely be keeping my eyes out for any thick whites, any Nordics on the scene, but I want to just put this out here and say, if I come back from Contact in the Desert and I turn on my live stream and I look like Kash Patel and I'm on camera going, what disclosure? I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of aliens, UFOs, nothing. Don't know what you're talking about. If I end up looking like this, just unsubscribe. Just get out because I'm done. I'm compromised. They got me. So I just want to put this disclaimer out now, so everyone is aware of that. Let's go to Friday. Okay. 7 a.m. start. I don't think I'll be making that one, unfortunately. But it is included with the pass. Let's take a look. This is Nicole Cloud. Begin each morning making contact with the intelligence in your breath and body in a 60-minute all levels yoga practice. Nicole blends essential oils, breath, and poses to increase the frequency of the mind-body connection. Bring your mat or we have one provided. God damn it. What an awesome way to start your day. Why does it have to be 7 a.m.? Come on. some of us like to sleep. Some of us don't have good sleeping patterns. If I'm awake, I would love to do something like this. What a great way to start the day. Get the vibes right, get the intention there, sync up the frequency with the fellow weirdos. Amazing. How do I get out of here? And then we've got 7:30 a.m. This is a bit of a clash here. Crystal beaming. Maximize your personal experience at the conference with daily crystal attunements. We'll transmit highly effective intentions through the quantum field to invite the flow state to help you arrive at the right place at the right time. Refine your vibrational levels to foster meaningful connections and expand your perception and discernment, opening your mind to infinite possibilities at contact. Sounds pretty cool as well. I'm liking the holistic side of this conference, especially in the morning. You know, starting the day on a good vibe for sure. Next up, 9 a.m., Chris Bledsoe is doing a workshop which is not included in your ticket. You will need to pay extra for this one. It is called Understanding Contact, Patterns, Consciousness, and Connection. Goes for an hour and a half. This interactive workshop explores the deeper patterns behind contact experiences and what they suggest about consciousness, intention, and human awareness. Drawing from his own encounters, Chris Bledsoe will share observations on how the phenomenon appears to respond to emotional state, focused attention, and group energy. Rather than focusing solely on events, this session invites participants to consider the inner conditions that may support the connection, such as presence, openness, and a genuine sense of curiosity. Chris will also reflect on the personal transformation that accompanied his experiences, including a heightened sense of empathy, connection to nature, and awareness of the interconnectedness of life. The workshop includes open discussion and Q&A, creating space for participants to ask questions, share perspectives, and explore the topic in a grounded and thoughtful way. That sounds pretty cool. This one's only $30, which is, I think, on the cheaper side for like the extra events outside of the tickets. And again, you know, a lot of people give Chris shit and call him a grifter and all of those kind of things. But like with a lot of these things and kind of what I mentioned before, like, you know, these kind of things, you can't argue with that. You can't, like, that's not a grift. This is not a grift. This is not a grift. And this is why I really don't think Chris, I've said this before, I don't think he's lying. Worst case, I think he's been maybe misguided or is being used by something or spooky intelligence agencies. Maybe, I don't know. But, you know, encouraging a large group of people to have more empathy and a deeper connection with nature and awareness of the interconnectedness of life. I'm sorry, but that's not a grift. In fact, I would say if you have a problem with that, you are the grift. You are grifting for Baal if you have a problem with that. John Anthony gifted 5 subs over on Twitch. John, you're an absolute legend, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. And High Vibing with 100 bits. Thank you very much, guys. Got a little hype train going at the moment over on Twitch. Fantastic. Legends. All right, next up, we have a workshop with Alex Stefan. This is another paid event, so this will not be included in your standard ticket. Influencing Matter, a live psychokinesis experience. Okay, an hour and a half this goes for. 25 USD. You're about to do something you didn't think you could do. In this workshop, we're going directly into psychokinesis, not the theory of it, not the history of it, but the actual practice. You'll be guided through specific ways of working with your attention and state that allow you to start influencing physical matter directly. We'll work with real objects, metal, physical setups that you can see and touch, and you'll start noticing what changes internally right before something responds. That moment, when it first happens, is why people transform. We'll build from there. Depending on where the group goes, we push into stronger effects, less predictable outcomes, and territory most people wouldn't expect to walk into in a 90-minute session. You don't need to believe this is possible going in. By the end, you'll know whether it is because you'll have done it. Hey, that's a big claim. I mean, I'm hooked. They've got me again. Where's my money? Take my credit card. I want to do this. I want to see if I can do psychokinesis. But the thing is, though, the thing I feel like with this is if you go in and it doesn't live up to your expectations, you know, like you might think you're going to go in and you are expecting like, I'm going to bend a spoon in half in 90 degrees. And you might, you know, the spoon might just go like this, like just a little bit. That like, and then it could be like, oh, is it just hot in here? Was I just putting a bit too? Was I squeezing it too hard? Like, it's you get enough of a result for there to be questions. And again, we were talking about this earlier today on Twitch, that it's just like, you know, like when we talk about like 9/11 or, you know, weird little conspiracy world events, disasters, there's never like a clear-cut answer. There's always speculation. But when you should expect these things to just be clear-cut. Did you bend the spoon or not? Was 9/11 an inside job or not? Why isn't it obvious? When you probe into it, you just get more questions. And if I left feeling like that, I feel like it would then taint my belief. It would taint my belief. And I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know, you know, I don't want to get frustrated with it. But maybe I should. Maybe that's the right thing to do. The next thing's a panel. Taboo archaeology, mysterious locations and artifacts. Speaking of, if you're subscribed to my other channel, I just uploaded a video at the Indonesian megalithic site called Gunung Padang, allegedly over 20,000 years old. That's on my other channel, Josh Stradamus TV. Anyway, this goes for an hour and a half as well. Got James Keenan, Sarah Gam, Doctors JJ and Desiree Hertak, Brad Olson, and Bill Homan. The only people I know here is Sarah Gam. I think she's done a couple of things with Ross Coulthart in the past. Anyway, mysteries from across the ancient and modern world come together as we question strange archaeological discoveries such as Göbekli Tepe, the crystal skulls, and mysterious ocean artifacts. Are these disconnected instances or clues pointing towards a deeper taboo narrative about our planet and its past? Sounds like it could be pretty interesting. I think, you know, generally the conversation around ancient civilizations and megalithic sites and the mystery, it's like pretty adjacent and synonymous with the UFO topic. Sarah Gam is a bad actor, CIA. I don't think she's CIA, is she? I think she was like she worked on like a UAP task force. I know that. That was great, Josh. Thank you, Kat. I'm glad you liked it. Appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. Okay. Oh my God, it's only still 9 a.m. This is a much bigger day. Experience hypnosis. Are you an abductee? With Yvonne Smith. Have you ever asked yourself, was that an abduction or just a dream? Then join Yvonne at her workshop where she will explain in detail what occurs during the very complex experience. Through her 35 years of working with abductees and experiences, Yvonne will present intimate details using photos and drawings culled from her hundreds of cases from their early childhood to the present. Signs and symptoms of possible abduction will also be discussed. Throughout the workshop, there will be audience participation and interaction. At the close, Yvonne will perform a group hypnosis session. Even for those who do not feel they've been touched by an abduction experience, this workshop will prove resourceful when it comes to the transformational effects when facing our trauma. Okay, interesting. $30 though, 30 USD for that one. Got to pay a little extra for if you want to get hypnotized by Yvonne Smith. That's at 9:30 a.m. on Friday. Then we've got a lecture with Dr. Paul Smith. So this is one of the Stargate remote viewers, if I remember correctly. No explanation on this one, just called Mind to Mind, The Many Faces of Telepathy. But I'm pretty sure Dr. Paul Smith has been on Third Eye Drops, Michael Phillips' show a couple of times. And again, yeah, connected to the Stargate remote viewing crew. May have even been one himself. Cookie, thank you very much for the 100 bits over on Twitch, legend. Okay, Danny Sheehan is back again at 9 a.m. on the next day. So if you miss him on Thursday, he's there again Friday with an hour and a half. And this is included with your ticket. Among the many intriguing issues that are presented to our human family by our encounters with the UFO phenomenon and the beings who appear to be the occupants of these craft, one of these is the alteration and then the eventual heightening or expansion of the state of consciousness that one experiences as a result of such encounters. This reality is being experienced even by those who would seek to attack, capture, undertake, to reverse engineer, and even deploy the technology of these UFO vehicles as weapons of war. What in the world is going on that is causing this effect? And what does this have to do with human spirituality? and even the different religious traditions that have been developed by our species. Okay, bit of a riddle of a description from Danny on that one. But we do know hobbits do speak in riddles, so that could be why. Could be interesting. Lecture with David Dominguez Hooper. This one goes for another hour and a half. Included in your ticket. Radar has long been the gold standard for aerial detection, but the technology has historically been complex, expensive, and out of reach for independent researchers. David Dominguez Hooper, founder of Eldeon, breaks down how his team engineers Nemesis, a consumer passive radar that makes this capability accessible for the first time. Built using software-defined radios, Raspberry Pi, 3D printing, and cloud infrastructure, Nemesis went from dev kit to shipped product through rapid prototyping and AI-assisted development. David shares early field data from deployed units, the engineering realities of building consumer hardware, and Eldeon's precautionary approach to rollout. This approach involves passive radar components subject to ITAR-level export controls, restricting sales to domestic markets, while formal classification is pursued. A responsibly deployed citizen-led radar network doesn't just advance UAP research, it can strengthen national defense. David lays out the roadmap and how to get involved. Sounds interesting, but also kind of sounds like maybe a bit of a shill for his, he's just spruiking his product here, trying to get a few people on board with Nemesis. Could be good though, spruiking your product isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's trying to get a few people, raise awareness is probably the right word. Experience a session with Yvonne Smith. Let's take a look at this one. The Experiencer Group is a collaborative space to share personal, extraordinary stories from paranormal contact with non-human intelligence and UFO sightings to out-of-body experiences and altered states. An enlightening event for all who attend through open discussion, camaraderie, and acceptance as we connect, dispel fear, and expand our consciousness. That could be cool. I'm sure we'd probably hear a lot of really interesting stories in that one. I wonder if you can go and just listen. Because I know sometimes people are funny about that, right? Like experiences sometimes are a bit shy, embarrassed, or nervous to speak out of fear of judgment. So I wonder if having something to share is a requirement. 11 a.m., you can watch a live podcast of Bledsoe Said So, hosted by Chris's son, Ryan. And he is joined by his sister, Emily Bledsoe Halloway, as they discuss their family's experience with the unknown. In 2007, the Bledsoe family came face-to-face with an interdimensional entities in one of the most publicly documented UFO cases of all time, plunging them into a life of government contact and psychic experiences. Bledsoe Said So takes a positive and lighthearted approach to revealing some of the world's deepest and most profound mysteries. Interesting. Don't really ever hear much from Emily Bledsoe, in regards to the story and everything that happened. But there we go. She's going to be speaking, and maybe Chris will be with them. I mean, you would assume so, right? He's their dad. He's there, may as well. It's his story at the end of the day. What's next? Alien communications. Alien communications across the dimensions. Anthony Peake, carrying on from implications of his lecture, Anthony Peake will discuss evidence that non-human not only exist, but actively try to communicate with us. He will give examples from history as to these communications and discuss how they may have used available technology to communicate with us and how we may be able to communicate with them. 25 freedom dollars if you want to see that one from Anthony Peake. Then we've got to work. Oh, hang on. There's another panel here. This is called the Infinite Within, where thought becomes form. Okay, I'm listening. Through thought, intention, and awareness, is consciousness playing a direct role in shaping reality itself? I think we would all say yes. From manifestation to collective thought forms born from shared beliefs, what hidden force within the mind allows it to influence the world we experience? Are we merely just detached observers, witnessing reality unfold before us, or are we co-creators within it? And we have a few friends of the show on this panel, Chris Ramsey and Michael Phillip, alongside Dr. Julia Mossbridge, Jason Quitt, David Hooper, and Susan Manowich. Hopefully I'm saying that right, and Alan Steinfeld. That sounds pretty cool. That goes for an hour and a half too. I think the panel discussions will be interesting. I feel like it's always a good vibe when you've got a few people bouncing off of each other as well. And then, a clash. That's a shame. I would like to see that. I would also like to listen to Dr. Rizwan Burke as well. This is paid though, so he might be doing a free speak later in the conference, but this is $25. Glitches in the Matrix, Synchronicity, and the Multiverse. In this experimental workshop, we'll delve into how various glitches in the Matrix, synchronicity, OBEs, remote viewing, spoon bending, ghosts, deja vu, UFOs, hacks, time travel may work in a simulated reality and what this reveals about science's understanding of the universe. We'll do exercises to experience some of these glitches ourselves, including exploring parallel selves and future lives. Man, that sounds cool. How do I need the time turner from Harry Potter 3 that Hermione had so she could go to all of her classes at Hogwarts. That's what I need. Then we've got is this at the same time? So at the same time, you've got the panel with Chris Ramsey, Michael Phillip, Rizwan Virk, and Danny Gola speaking, and Tim Gallaudet, all at the same time. I wouldn't mind seeing all of those. Anyway, we're going to have to miss some. Danny Gola claims that the future of humanity depends on changing the scientific framework to include the observer in our models. This talk will outline the details of this reframing and how it could lead to a more advanced and harmonious humanity. That's cognitive physics and future of knowledge. Sounds good. Tim Gallaudet, Rear Admiral. Tearing the shroud of UAP secrecy. For over 80 years, the US government has withheld information about UAP from the public, in addition to conducting a deliberate disinformation campaign against anyone inquiring about or conducting research into their occurrence. However, the shroud of UAP secrecy is beginning to tear. Through the combined efforts of former government officials, whistleblowers, private and university-affiliated researchers, investigative journalists, media outlets, and the film industry, the stigma associated with UAP and the non-human intelligence which directs their activity is starting to shatter. How we arrived at this transformational moment in history will be explored, with the conclusion that disclosure is already here, and any continued disinformation effort cannot compete with the exponentially expanding public interest. Love that. I love the positivity, like the go-getter attitude. We're here. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, as they say. I love that. You just need to split your consciousness and you can participate in everything, Josh. I'll start working on that now. I'll start building the time machine. Caroline Corey, master your superhuman skills. In this presentation, Caroline will share the mind over matter experiments that she has been conducting for her new film, Superhuman: The Rebirth, which include experiments on past life regression and blind individuals who are able to see. She will discuss how to use the field of information to retrieve memories, but also for remote viewing, telepathy, and mind sight. Okay, interesting. What's that? An hour and a half. That's a long one. Live podcast, Inquiry. I've never heard of this podcast before. Let's take a look. It's on SpectraVision Radio. I feel like a lot of people were on SpectraVision. That's what like Jordan Crowder was on, and now he's not. I think Dana Kipple is on SpectraVision. This is Kelly Chase. She's on there too. I don't know who these guys are. Got a little bit of a monopoly on UFO podcasts. Hey, interesting. I wonder what that's about. Not everything's a conspiracy though. Anyway, Inquiry with Kelly Chase is an investigative podcast that explores how we come to understand reality and what happens when the understanding begins to unravel. Blending insights from psychological operations, ufology, psi research, consciousness studies, and anomalous experiences, Kelly Chase examines the moments when reality breaks its own rules, suggesting that these disruptions may reveal deeper truths. This episode, Kelly will be interviewing renowned author Joshua Kuchin, something like that. There's Joshua there, and there is Kelly. The topics sound interesting, especially the psychological operations part, psi research, consciousness studies. I'm not super familiar with Kelly Chase's content, but I've watched a little bit of her stuff, and I do always feel like she seems to be pretty like on the point, on the money, and to the point is what I was looking for. So I've always enjoyed the little snippets that I've seen of her. Alexis Brooks. The Telepathy Code Unlocked. Our encounters with non-human intelligence preparing humanity for a new language. Another hour and a half one that's included with your ticket. Across decades of contact testimony, one striking pattern remains consistent. Communication between humans and non-human intelligence is overwhelmingly telepathic. Experiences describe the exchange not as spoken language, but as instantaneous knowing, thought transmitted directly to thought. Is this merely a method of convenience for advanced beings, or something far more significant for humanity? In this provocative exploration, Alexis will examine the possibility that telepathic contact is not incidental, but instructional. Could encounters with non-human intelligence be activating or accelerating a latent human capacity, one that transcends verbal speech? Emerging reports of individuals who describe sudden telepathic perception, sometimes following profound life shifts, including contact encounters or crises, raise deeper questions about consciousness, trauma, and human potential. Very, very interesting. I feel like we've been touching on, I think we maybe even touched on this today earlier on Twitch, with the fact that trauma seems to be the key to like expanding like the neuroplasticity, or to really finding these gifts, whatever we want to call them, abilities that might be dormant within us. I really wish we could figure out another way to do that, that didn't involve trauma. That would be fantastic if we could do that. If telepathy is repeated, the only positive we can take from that is all the trauma that we're all collectively experiencing from living through the Epstein files and World War III, and everyone just basically hating each other and being having a terrible time, is that we're all kind of being traumatized, and hopefully we all actually grow out of it collectively. That could work. Let's hope. If telepathy is repeatedly modeled within contact experiences, we must ask, are we being shown a preview of humanity's next communicative evolution? Join Alexis Brooks for this inquiry into whether telepathy is not just a contact phenomenon, but the ultimate unveiling of a new language for our species. Again, they're pretty much every single thing sounds super cool. It's kind of annoying because they all clash, so you're gonna have to pick one. Workshop with Eric Davis, you got to pay extra for this. The workshop, this is called "What Can We Surmise About NHIs?" This workshop, well, nothing that you can't say outside of your security oath, so we can assume that much. The workshop continues the discussion on NHIs from my featured presentation, UAP, the Bonfire of the Realities. We will discuss the historical record of UAP NHI encounters around the globe and compare and contrast their various interactions with the human race. Obviously, we will be having that entire discussion within my NDAs and within my security oath. Fantastic. Lecture with Sarah Gam. This one is included with the pass. The Analyst's Third Eye, Beyond the Frame. Hour and a half. This talk provides an introduction to the fundamentals of image analysis, focusing on the systematic evaluation of visual data to identify objects, context, and actionable insights. It further examines conceptual parallels between scientific methodologies and spiritually oriented perspectives, including ideas such as quantum entanglement and interactions with higher frequency states of awareness. Sarah Gam. Next up, we've got Whitley Strieber. Hour and a half. You got to pay extra for Whitley. $30. The Greys in the Life of the Family. Whitley and his family had the Greys as active participants in their lives for many years. He describes how this contact worked and how this relationship grew. He explains both the challenge and wonder of it, bringing the experience to life through vivid storytelling. Okay, there we go. $30 freedom dollars for that one. Next up, we got another panel conversation called Psychedelic Gateways. I'm interested. Who's on this panel? So we got the guys from Acid for Squares. That's a two-person podcast. Paul Hynek, Anthony Peake, Dr. Pascal Michael, Dr. Rizwan Verk, Michael Phillip, and Danny Gola. All right, cool panel. Sounds cool. Psychedelics have long been used in ceremony practices and explored as tools for unlocking the hidden potentials of human consciousness. Those who journey through these altered states often report encounters with seemingly intelligent entities, vast landscapes beyond comprehension, and visions that challenge the self. What can these encounters reveal about the mind, reality, and the structure of conventional perception? How do these substances unlock doors that transform the human mind into a gateway to otherworldly realms, both strange and profoundly enlightening. I like this one. I like this one a lot. That's 1 p.m. on Friday. And we're only halfway through Friday. This stream's going to go. How long have we been live? An hour. Okay, we might have to skim over these. Or we might. I thought this would be like an hour and a half, this live stream. We're not even halfway through Friday. The thing is, though, I don't know which ones to skip over. I don't know. I feel like we should just do them, right? Because I don't want to skip over one that actually sounds really cool because I'm going. I don't want to miss it. Join Hakim Isla, founder of the Psy Games and visionary in the field of human potential, for a groundbreaking and interactive class designed to both inspire and awaken. The Psychic Play Workshop is an experience. Hakim and his team will guide participants through the science, art, and wonder of psi abilities in a playful and supportive environment. You'll witness live mindsight psychokinesis experiences showcasing how perception can extend beyond the body. Okay, wow. You'll experience... I'm just shocked. Like these are big promises. These are big promises. You'll also experience energetic communication demonstrations designed to highlight energy. Designed to highlight energy can connect in ways modern science is only beginning to explore. Through guided exercise discussion and audience participation, this class will introduce the foundations of psi development and why play is key to unlocking potential. Play is key to unlocking potential. Provide first-hand demonstrations and instructions in several psi modalities. Explore the intersection of science, intuition, and community practice. Participants will get to learn and demonstrate their own abilities in a safe, supportive, and fun setting. More than a class, psychic play is a bridge between research and experience, between curiosity and ability, and between individuals who are ready to explore the deeper capacities of human consciousness. Come curious, leave inspired after you pay $25 freedom dollars. That is Hakim Isla with Psychic Play. Sounds pretty cool. Big promises. Big promises. Film screenings, Superhuman: The Rebirth. So this was that movie that I can't remember who it was. I can't remember her name, but the lady who made this movie is also doing Caroline Corey. That's it. She's going to be screening her movie there for the first time. We'll try and move on from that one quickly just to consider time. Then we got a lecture with Thomas Jane? A Human's Guide to Visiting Aliens. Who are they? Why are they here? What do they want? Why do they crash? Why do all alien species or races follow similar guidelines in interacting with people on Earth? Answering these core questions will become key to establishing a coordinated human response to alien visitation. It will help us understand the heart of the secrecy and why UFOs and aliens have been so suppressed by extra-governmental forces that lurk under our human control systems. This group has suppressed not only the UFO, they have steered science and academia away from breakthrough physics that will once freed from their control, revolutionize the planet. This is no longer a philosophical pursuit of man's place in the universe or where we sit within a cosmic ecology of intelligent life, although we do, for the first time, have deep clues to these questions. This is a fight for the future of human society, ongoing and soon coming to a head thanks to new technologies now coming online. AI, nanotech, BCI, and the human control systems originally built to manage the alien problem. Aliens, their technology, their systems, their presence will soon impact each and every one of us. How this plays out will depend on our level of awareness, our capacity for truth, no matter how improbable, and our ability to take actions now that will impact our future selves, our sons and daughters. Alien disclosure isn't about proving we are not alone in the universe or even here on our blue planet. This is a battle for the soul of humanity. All right. That sounds pretty cool. Again, they've done it again. Joker's Playground, what's going on? Welcome to Twitch. Let me get a drink because I am starting to froth up at the mouth a little bit here. Gonna need a refill on that. We've got a long way to go. All right, next up, a lecture with Walter Bosley. From reachless corners of time and space, a true story of cosmic madness. Lecture with Walter Bosley. For 15 years, Walter Bosley has contemplated the mystery of an obscure man unknown to history, yet connecting legendary American outlaws to the enigma of Charles Charles Deschaux Sonora Aero Club legend, and the 1890s airship mystery. I've never heard of the Sonora Aero Club legend or the 1890s airship mystery. Is this like a old is this like a, I mean, we didn't have planes in 1890, right? Is this meant to be like an old UFO sighting in the 1890s? Walter will present his intriguing hypothesis to argue that a cosmic encounter was at the heart of it all, and that a notorious author, H.P. Lovecraft, maintained a fascination with the mystery man's case for many years. Okay. That's pretty cool. Never heard of a UFO sighting, that famous case in the 1890s. That could be cool to check out. Greg Bishop, Art and the Encounter Experience. It was a mass sighting. Yeah, they had a recovered body from it. Really? In what? In 1890? Man, I've never heard about that. Dark Journalist talks about this a lot. Flying machines before planes. Interesting. Dark Journalist is really on the money, isn't he? That guy's really all over it. I would love to get him on the show. We should try and do that. Wonder if he'll be at Contact in the Desert. Okay, this workshop, again, $25 US. The workshop will feature a light art history lecture followed by a deep examination of non-human entities as depicted in visual art throughout history, from cave paintings to modern TV and film, and examine what we can gain from this understanding as well as how it affects modern ideas about interactions with apparent alien life. The last segment of this session will feature a live interview with an experiencer who has been creating paintings of his encounters and how the events have affected his life. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. I wonder who it is. It's weird that they didn't name. Maybe it's just someone unknown that it does paintings. I don't know. Or is it meant to be a surprise? Jason Quit. Jason Quit. Sorry, 1 second. We got a few super chats here. Let me get to them after this one. Astral Genesis, ancient occult mysteries of the stars, gods, and the cycles of time. Long before written history, our ancestors mastered the heavens by tracking the sun, moon, and stars to govern planting, harvesting, migration, navigation, and survival itself. This celestial knowledge birthed agriculture, seafaring empires, and profound myths that echo through Plato's Atlantis and beyond. Could our zodiac, gods, and sacred stories conceal an occulted astronomical code from a lost seafaring civilization? Rooted in the Hermetic principles, as above, so below, this sacred science shaped Mesopotamia, Egypt, and global cultures, encoding cosmic cycles into art, architecture, mythology, and deities. In this immersive workshop, Jason Quit reveals a 12,000-year-old celestial code woven throughout ancient wisdom. Drawing on shamanic insights, explore how zodiac animals mirror Earth's rhythms. Discover how decoding these mysteries empowered ancient empires and how they still illuminate our place in the cosmos today. Join us to decode the hidden star language that has been guiding humanity across millennia. Damn. I'm so glad that I've actually gone to read these because I'll be honest, I'm a skimmer. I skim everything because the brain's going too quick. So we just skim stuff and we get the general idea and we make decisions and we move forward. I'm a skimmer. I would probably never actually sit down and read all of these word for word in my own time. But I'm actually so glad that I'm doing this because I'm realizing that there is even way more cool stuff here than I even realized. And I'm hoping some of you guys who are going are getting that same experience and you're realizing there's actually so much cool shit here. That's $25 USD for that one. That's Jason Quit on Friday. Workshop with Paul Hynek, AI Buckle Up. This is another paid one on top of your ticket. Yep, cheers, Josh. Priceless. Amazing. Glad you guys are getting something out of it. AI. Ooh. Yeah, buckle up, all right. It's not about AI replacing people. It's about people with AI replacing people without AI. AI is far and away the most disruptive technology in human history, and the gap between curious and capable is this 90-minute workshop. In this live demonstration, you'll see AI craft content. You'll see AI craft content in real time, see a state-of-the-art interactive version of Paul's new book, watch a multi-model AI council pit ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, Mistral, and Perplexity against each other simultaneously to produce better answers than any single model can, and witness vibe coding, building working software from scratch using the only programming language you actually need, English. You will leave with a clear picture of what AI can actually do today, what's coming next, and exactly where to start. No theory, no hype, just the technology doing what it can do live in front of you. This is going to be a fun ride. I actually think I have to go to that. Yeah, an LLM battle. I have to go to that. I think it would be foolish not to, because I think being in this space again, and like, you know, what he said at the beginning, I mean, we all feel a bit grim and a bit unsettling about AI for sure. But, you know, it's important to remember it is also very useful. Like it can be used for good things and to make things more efficient. It can be used well. It might also take over the world. Who knows? But it is here. And if you're in an industry that does or can use AI or can leverage AI to increase your workflow and your efficiency, it would be silly not to start learning about that, I think. So I think this is probably something I would like to do. But don't worry, I would never use AI to like write a script for me or a video or make artwork for me that I would use on the channel. I'm not about that life, but I'm definitely interested in how it can improve my workflows 100%. Paul Hynek, 3 p.m. on Friday. Then we've got another panel discussion. Oh, this is at the same time. Oh, damn it. So many clashes. It's like a festival. Awakening Human Abilities, Telepathy, Remote Viewing, and Limitless Potential. This is with Dr. Diane Hennessy Powell, Dahlia Burgoyne, Dr. Paul Smith, Hakeem Isla, Michael Phillip, and Mike Zeleznik. Man, whose boots is Michael polishing? He's on every panel. God damn it, Michael. In the realm of expanded consciousness, psionic capabilities push beyond the limits of conventional science, challenging long-held assumptions about the nature of the mind. Some are born with psychic abilities fully activated, while others believe with intention and practice, potential for intuitive perception can be developed. The ultimate question remains, could these extraordinary gifts exist within us all, waiting to be awakened? Sounds pretty cool. I mean, I feel like I'd probably go for the AI workshop. Oh my gosh, that's at the same time as the Ancient Occult Mysteries of the Stars, Gods, and Cycles of Time with Jason Quitt. And the same time as the art, as the Greg Bishop one. Jeez, man. They're not making this easy. Next up is a live podcast with the sleeping dog himself. I'll read this in just a sec. Let me just catch up on these super chats, guys. Angry Drunk German. Nice to see you here, sir. He says, a person devoted to the service of others will always have someone to service them. And in the end, we will all enjoy being serviced. I hope so. Thank you very much, Angry Drunk German. Tiger Lily says, does anyone else stargaze while singing, calling occupants of interplanetary craft? I'm sure many other people are calling out to the occupants of interplanetary craft while they stargaze in some form or another. Absolutely. Deadpool Kid says, I have a crazy hypothesis. What if ETs and cryptids generate a psychic imprint and thus create a tulpas-like radio tower emitting frequencies? I like it. I'm here for it. And he also says, I think there's multiple realms and multiple planes, all within their own hidden realities, layered after layered like an onion. Well, I want to believe anyway. Much love. Great show. Thank you. And I appreciate the super chat, and I like your comment there as well. And I've used the analogy because, as many of you know, I'm a bit of a nerd. I enjoy video games, specifically the most life-stealing ones, known as massive multi. Oh my god, MMORPGs. I can't even remember what it stands for. MMORPGs, and in MMORPGs, they do just that. All of the players are visible and they're in the world, but a lot of the time, although the players can see each other, they're actually on what you could call a layer or an instance. So there's actually, say, 30 different instances of the world map, because each map can only hold so many players, right? So you're actually only in the same reality or layer as yourself, or maybe a couple of other players that are on the same frequency as you. But what the game does is it flattens all of those layers onto each other so you can see all of the other people. But although it appears that they're sharing reality with you, they're actually in their own layer of it. They're in their own reality. I really like the MMORPG analogy. Weaponized. Jeremy Corbell, George Knapp, hour and a half. Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp pull back the veil on the world of the known to explore the unexplained. This multi-platform investigative series features exclusive interviews, never before seen footage, previously suppressed documents, original audio and video recordings, and hard evidence related to UFOs, the paranormal, cutting-edge science, cover-ups, conspiracies, and big-time crimes. I think that's more of just like this is just kind of like a generic explanation, I think, of what the Weaponized podcast is about, which I'm sure most of us are very aware. Next up, we've got Susan Manowich doing a lecture. Awakening to a new Earth from cosmic catastrophism to co-creation amid planetary and cosmological shifts. That's a mouthful. And it's about delving into the profound planetary changes reshaping our world, spanning from catastrophism, characterized by economic disruptions, collapsing control systems, and intensified societal divisions, to the dawn of a new Earth. Drawing from Susan's pre-incarnation memories, dynamic contact experiences, and deep connections to ancient wisdom, we'll reconnect with our roots as cosmic creators. This exploration uncovers the lost legacies of Lemuria, Atlantis, and Egypt, illuminating pathways to reclaim personal and collective sovereignty. You got me with Lemuria and Atlantis. That's when I was sold. We'll explain key cosmological forces, including solar activity, heliospheric current sheet shifts, plasma intelligence, Earth's magnetic field variations tracked by Schumann resonance, and lunar influences. These electromagnetic dynamics are awakening our physiology and consciousness, reshaping human interactions while enhancing emotional intelligence as a vital tool for exiting the old matrix and bridging to the new Earth. Okay, you got me listening here, 100%. Interesting. Electromagnetic dynamics are awakening our physiology and consciousness that is reshaping our interactions, enhancing emotional intelligence to help us exit the old matrix and bridge to the new Earth. Old, long-time viewers of the channel would know that the old slogan was navigating the new Earth for Polarity. That's what we started with. Still trying to navigate the new Earth. We just don't have the slogan up anymore. Gain practical strategies for harnessing these energies to foster interdimensional awareness and personal empowerment. What sets this planetary shift apart from Earth's previous cycles? Susan shares unique insights drawn from her experiences. Finally, she'll address the ongoing UFO disclosure movement, highlighting key considerations and its ties to our shared planetary history for mindful navigation forward. Another one that sounds like a banger. Funnily enough, I was the one person who I was the most looking forward to seeing in this conference was Dr. Diana Pasolka. She was announced with the initial list of speakers, but she's not there anymore. She's not on there anymore. I think she canceled. I actually asked the people at Contact, and I was told that she canceled. I don't know if it's got something to do with their new book coming out. Who knows? Where are we at now? Dr. Julia Mossbridge. Unconditional love, time jumping, and bidirectional access to the informational substrate. If an informational substrate outside of space-time underlies our physical and mental realities within space-time, how do we communicate with it? Dr. Mossbridge will describe how she sees unconditional love as a key communication tool to access the informational substrate, to both receive information from the substrate and insert information into it. She will describe her research studies showing that unconditional love seems to increase short time frame precognitive remote viewing accuracy, and she will explain what precognition has to do with time jumping. Finally, she will briefly describe her work with autistic non-speaker savants and discuss her model that proposes that AI may have direct bidirectional access to the informational substrate. Wow. That's included in the pass as well. That sounds really cool. Love is the key, people. Love is the answer. You're not going to get anywhere screaming at people on X. It's not going to do anything. Trust me. Workshop with Brad Olson, Giants in Antiquity and Mystery of the Megaliths. Oh, Brad, you take my money. Take it. There is ample evidence of very tall, human-like beings existing on Earth in prehistory. Some had elongated skulls, while others had double rows of teeth and sometimes an extra digit on their hands and feet. Human-like, but not quite human as we know ourselves to be. From the giants uncovered in the earthen mounds of North America to the elongated skulls on display in South America, Brad Olson will span the globe and present the best evidence. Similarly, the megalithic constructions around the world also hold many mysteries. How were they constructed so precisely? Who built them? Why did they need to be so massive? By what technique were they constructed, and how were they moved from the quarries? To learn about the magnificent marvels of our ancient past is to truly understand the full journey of humanity. I like it. $25, but you know, I think I'm here for that one. 100%. Okay, let's continue. It's only Friday, people. It's only Friday. Whew. I'm gonna need to get a new drink soon. There's gonna be a much longer stream than I thought, but I'm committed to doing every single one. I'm doing it. Okay, we're doing this. Deep Prasad. We've actually covered Deep Prasad on the show a while ago, but he's had a really interesting, I guess you could say, abduction experience. Not like I'm in the craft and they're experimenting on me, but like Gray's in his room, paralyzed, etc., etc. Covered it maybe like 9 months ago. Contact is already happening. We just don't have the interface. We may already be in contact, not through landings or language, but through signals, anomalies, and interactions we lack the frameworks to interpret. The real bottleneck isn't evidence, it's an interface failure. You can tell this guy works in tech. This lecture will explore why current scientific intelligence and cultural systems fail to process non-human signals, how AI systems are already encountering similar unknown intelligences in abstract domains, what it would mean to build a shared interface layer between fundamentally different forms of cognition. Drawing from work in autonomous systems, AI governance, and anomaly detection, we outline a path towards contact that is structured, testable, and actionable with potential non-human superintelligence and intelligence phenomena. Okay. Deep Prasad, 5 p.m. in the Atlantis room. Another panel. The panels get me a bit excited. I don't know why. Close Encounters of the Family Kind, the Hynek and Vallée Legacy. So this is Roxanne Hynek, Ross Hynek, Scott Hynek, Joel Hynek, and Dr. Jacques Vallée. So Jacques Vallée is going to be there in person, and Paul Hynek. The whole Hynek tribe. For the first time ever, all 5 children of Dr. J. Allen Hynek, Scott, Roxanne, Joel, Paul, and Ross, joined Jacques Vallée and their father's closest scientific collaborator on stage together. Hynek spent 2 decades as the Air Force chief scientific consultant on UFOs. Vallée has carried their shared work forward for 40 years. Moderated by Paul Hynek, this unprecedented panel weaves personal memory with unfinished science and discusses what Hynek and Vallée's partnership means for the field now that the world is finally catching up. Again, this sounds like a banger. All of the Hynek family speaking with Jacques Vallée. That's kind of wild. So that's at 5 p.m. So that's clashing with Deep Prasad. It's clashing with Brad Olson. It's clashing with Dr. Julian Mossbridge. It's clashing with Susan Manowich. Fantastic. Pick your poison, people. It's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough. Magnetic Mysteries of the Crystal Skull Friday with Bill Homan. Let me just get to this super chat while that loads. Joel Quinn says, Brad Olson entry fee for you, brother. Please report back the findings. Oh, well, my hands are tied now. Joel, thank you very much, bro. Very generous of you. I appreciate that. Magnetic Mysteries of the Crystal Skull Friday. Bill Homan, legal guardian of the skull since 2007, and Catherine Lanigan, author and guardian of the skull, will answer all of your questions about the Michael Hedges Crystal Skull and the mysteries surrounding it in this small group 90-minute style Q&A style workshop. Okay, I'm going to need to look this up. I feel like I've heard about crystal skulls, but I don't really, I've never gone down the rabbit hole. Okay. What's the lore on this? Grok will tell me. Grok, is this real? Should I ask if it is real? No. I'll say, give me the lore about, give me the concise, short version of lore about Michael Hedges' Crystal Skull. Indiana Jones knows the crystal meth skull? Surely not. Well, apparently crackheads are going to be taking control of the world, apparently. Here we go. The Mitchell Hedges skull, aka Skull of Doom or Skull of Love, is the most famous of the crystal skulls. In 1924 or 1927, okay, make your mind up. 17-year-old Anna Mitchell Hedges claimed she discovered a life-size transparent quartz crystal skull carved from a single block with a detachable jaw, buried under a collapsed altar in the ancient Maya ruins of Lubanton, Belize, while on an expedition with her adoptive father, British adventurer F.A. Mitchell Hedges. According to the tales he promoted, it was at least 3,600 years old. Mayan high priests allegedly used it for esoteric rites, prophecy, and willing death on enemies. How do they know that? It supposedly emits blue lights from the eyes, causes visions, telepathy, changes temperature, and holds immense mystical power, sometimes linked to Atlantis. There are some sus dogs appearing in the chat. I get it. I mean, are you bringing it? Are you bringing the skull? Bill Holman, legal guardian of the skull, and Catherine Lanigan, author and guardian of the skull, will answer your questions about the skull and mysteries surrounding it. I've got a feeling the skull isn't going to be there. And it's $25. I think Susdog is justifiably out of his kennel for this one. If the skull is there, then I redact my statement. But I think if you're going to do this, you should probably bring it with you. Let's hope. A crystal skull bong would be nice. Well, there you go. That's an example of different strokes for different folks. Let's keep going. Joshua Kutchin, however it's said. By bringing together, UAP metamaterials, souvenirs of the imaginal. By bringing together overlooked comparisons from other paranormal domains, Joshua Kutchin offers fresh perspectives on UFO crash debris that raise new questions about their nature and significance with an extended Q&A and discussion for 25 Freedom Tokens. Next up, 7:30 p.m., you guys can watch the film screening of The Psychic Phenomenon. I've never heard of this movie. I think most of the movies being screened are like, relatively new, like they're either coming out or they're being debuted for the first time. It looks like they've got a trailer here. It's always a bit dodgy playing trailers. Let's have a look. It's 4 minutes. It's a bit too long. Sorry. Darcy Weir embarks on a riveting quest to uncover the hidden truths of remote viewing, delving into the world of psychic phenomena. With insights from former CIA program director Russell Targ, he explores whether the U.S. military has long harnessed these extraordinary abilities, along with Tracy Dolan, Paul Smith, and Thomas Jane. As Weir unravels classified secrets, he questions the inspiring possibility of telepathic aliens and humanity's untapped potential. Okay, interesting. It does sound really cool, and I do want to watch this, but sometimes with trailers, you get hit with the copyright strikes and stuff like that. Speaker meet and greet party. Let's see who's attending this one. This is at 7:30 on Friday. Emily Harrison. Okay, just like the hosts, I guess. Quantum Leap activation with Stacey Murphy. I don't want to brush over them, but if I feel like there's not much there, we will try and skip on just for time. Quantum Leap activation with Stacey Murphy. You don't create your reality, you select it. Okay, I'm listening, Stacey. All timelines and parallel selves exist now. This restorative visualization and activation guides you into resonance with your grandest timeline to maximize synchronicities and blessings here and now. Skywatch excursion. Oh, here we go. There are a lot of sus dogs in the chat over on Twitch. I respect it. Oh, 80 freedom tokens for this one, and it's sold out. Wow. There must be something about this I don't know. Let's listen. Embark on a stargazing adventure with renowned researcher Ben Hansen, along with esteemed astronomer and MUFON's chief photo and video analyst, Mark D'Antonio, for an exclusive evening under the stars. A chartered bus will transport you away from city lights, ensuring optimal conditions to observe the night sky. You'll have the unique opportunity to engage directly with these experts, deepening your understanding of what possibly lurks in the cosmos. Are you ready to uncover the mysteries that await in the desert tonight? Well, no, because it's sold out. Unlucky. Good luck. Have fun to anyone who already has a ticket to that one. Then at 8:30 p.m., we've got a live band. Okay, I'm a big fan of live music. This should be cool. Yep, no refunds. If you don't see anything, too bad. We'll give you a 20% off coupon for next year. Disciples of Shima are playing Drinks and Dancing on the Rose Lawn. All right, never heard of them, but I'm sure it'll be good. Interdimensional Sound Bath with Renee Lynn. Now we're cooking. This could be the hot tub stream. Can I get away with that? Will you all stop annoying me about the hot tub stream if I say I'm in an interdimensional bath, an interdimensional hot tub? Release stress, replenish your energy, and step into serenity with a cosmic sound bath crafted by sound and energy healer Renee Lynn. Let melodic vibrations of giant crystal singing bowls and soft sonics ease you into a state of bliss, an immersive experience for your mind, body, and spirit. Dress comfy and cozy. I'm good at that. Bring your own pillows, blankets, floor pads, and or yoga mats. Eye pillow and eye masks encouraged. Connect with your consciousness, the cosmos, and beyond. This just sounds like a fun little cozy time, to be honest. I'd go just for that, and it is included with the pass. And that's at 9:30 p.m. So it's basically like the only thing going on, other than connecting with oceanic intelligences with Sherilyn Jones. End your day with a deeply immersive experience designed to bring your system into coherence, alignment, and expanded awareness. In this guided journey, you'll connect with the field of whale and dolphin consciousnesses, ancient intelligence. You're going to connect with whale and dolphin consciousness, ancient intelligence, embedded with profound resonance, harmony, and interconnected awareness. Okay. All right. Let her cook. Let her cook. Utilizing dolphin sonar, whale song, guided visualization, and focused presence, you'll enter a receptive state where intuitive communication and energetic attunement can naturally arise. Sherilyn will offer channeled messages and energy activations and resonance ripples provided with anchored integration. Within this space, many participants experience subtle yet meaningful messages, insights, and energetic shifts, often described as a form of nonverbal vibrational communication that supports clarity, restoration, and inner alignment. This session offers both a powerful integration of your conference experience and an opening into deeper levels of perception, connection, and awareness. Leave feeling grounded, expanded, and attuned to a greater field of intelligence. Okay. I mean, this lady's photo has like whales and dolphins in the background. I don't know what that means. Like, is she someone who is regularly communicating with dolphins? I mean, I hope it's not the CIA dolphins. I hope it's not those CIA dolphins because, you know, they don't work for free. Those ones, they do not work for free, and we know that. We know about those CIA dolphins. Let's go to the next one. Oh, that's Friday Wrapped. That's Friday Wrapped. Let's dolphin maxing. Yeah. Let's go to Saturday. I'm seeing some Pine Gap pigeons in the chats here. Do we have stream issues? Do we have stream issues? Let me know if is everything all good? Now that I'm streaming to 3 places at once, it's like a bit harder to keep on top of everything, but I'm especially with a 14-inch screen doing my best though. Let me know if everything is all good. Good on Twitch? Okay, I think we should be good to go. Let's keep going. All right. Thank you guys on Twitch and YouTube. Appreciate you. Saturday. 7 a.m. wake up. All right, we won't read this one again, but it looks like if you want to do your yoga in the morning to start your day off and get aligned, get in the right headspace, Nicole Cloud will be running a 60-minute session again. Crystal beaming once again, so same as Friday. Start your day off getting nice and in the zone. Experience a session with Yvonne Smith. We've read that as well. So it seems like some of these events are going to be repeating, which is good because there are a lot of clashes, and it will be good to kind of, you know, make sure you can see everything you want to see. Then we've got first-hand investigations into strange phenomena and forbidden archaeology. This is with James Keenan. In this immersive workshop, we'll take a deep dive into years of boots-on-the-ground investigations into the high strangeness that have created a greater understanding of what's real, what's not, what's misunderstood, and those things that we got completely wrong. We will include in the discussion technological tools used that can capture the scientific data points and provide further understanding of what we are interacting with. We will discuss what's going on underground and the effects that this has on paranormal phenomena. Finally, we will look at the supernatural and religious belief systems of past cultures and see how this can assist us with greater understanding of the unknown. 25 of your freedom tokens for that one. Then we've got a workshop with Kelly Chase, Spoonbender. Kelly Spoonbender Chase is doing a talk on trauma and anomalous experience when the filter breaks. Research consistently links anomalous experience to trauma history. Yep. The standard explanation is that traumatized nervous systems become unreliable, more prone to misreading signals and manufacturing experiences that aren't real. This lecture argues that framing is incomplete and in some ways exactly backwards. Drawing from the filter thesis, predictive processing research, and the documented history of psychological operations, Kelly examines what trauma actually does to perception and why the same malleability that makes traumatized populations susceptible to belief engineering may also be what opens them up to genuine contact. From MK Ultra to Mind War, that's Michael Aquino's book, the deliberate use of psychological disruption to reshape belief has a long institutional history, and if Vallée's control system hypothesis holds, human institutions may not be the only ones working that lever. This actually sounds really damn good. This is right up my alley. Yeah, I agree. This one sounds really, really good. 25 freedom coupons for that one. Panel. Okay, what do we got? I bet Michael Phillips on it. Michael Phillips on this panel, 100%. Let's go. Oh, he's not. Damn it. That's his first one he's missing. Okay, voices from the beyond, near-death experiences, and the afterlife. Stories of the afterlife and near-death experiences are often mysterious glimpses into what happens when we cross the threshold and journey beyond the body. Some experiences describe an afterlife that feels familiar and comforting, while others encounter realms that are entirely different. These accounts raise profound questions. Do we create our own version of the afterlife? Is there a permanent realm we enter, or does consciousness continue past our physical world? What allows certain people to see through the veil and communicate with those who have crossed over? Explore the hidden boundaries, if there are any, between life, death, and what may lie beyond. I like it. I like it. I've always been fascinated by near-death experiences. I've never had one, but I know a few people that have, and they're all quite profound. And then, this one sounds good. This one sounds good. I think you guys are going to like this one. From extraterrestrials to ultra-terrestrials, examining consciousness from Enoch to the Pleiades and beyond. Alan Steinfeld, Drs. JJ and Desiree Hurtak. We are entering the galactic age and discovering our role in the greater cosmic creation. Join us as we detail the cosmology of our multidimensional realities and the many planes of conscious existence. There is a vast universe out there, and it is essential that we know more of the cosmic others, as there are numerous types of intelligences intersecting with our reality and other dimensional forms now visiting Earth. This talk is about upgrading our awareness and awakening our multidimensional understanding so we can come to a common exchange with the variety of interplanetary intelligences. We will look at a range of topics from the ancient legends of the giants, as described in the ancient Book of Enoch, and why ETs are coming here now. We will also discuss several agendas of these NHI and how some are presently assisting in the upgrade of humanity. I mean, you got an interesting way of going about it. But I'll, as always, reserve full judgment until it is complete. And Book of Enoch, currently being heavily recommended by Anna Paulina Luna. That one is included with your pass. Lecture with Dr. Diane Hennessy Powell of the telepathy tapes. I've listened to her before. She has a good head on her shoulders and brings a balanced opinion. I would tend to agree with that. For decades, phenomena such as telepathy and precognition have remained at the margins of scientific inquiry, often dismissed as anecdotal or impossible to test. Yet structured experiments with non-speaking autistic individuals, many of whom communicate through letterboards or keyboards, have generated observations that challenge conventional assumptions about cognition and perception. In this presentation, Diane Hennessy will review evidence suggesting that some non-speaking participants can access information beyond ordinary sensory channels. In addition to discussing apparent telepathic information transfer, she will examine reports of precognition and remote viewing, as well as unusual descriptions of time and spatial perception. Again, I feel like I keep saying this, but we were touching on this today on Twitch earlier about how our dogs seem to be that don't understand in like a telepathic way of like language, but through like feeling and emotion. That seems to be real. And it's like, is telepathy actually just like a hypersensitivity to emotion? Like if emotions have frequency, which, you know, people talk about the emotional frequency scale. If emotions have a frequency, if someone is hypersensitive and receptive to these frequencies and you can feel them, is that actually what telepathy is? And we're feeling that, with people can feel that, and we translate it in our minds like into English, right? Because we think with language. We have like an internal monologue. So are we actually hearing voices in our head when people have telepathic communications, or are we like hyper tuned in to emotion and frequency and feeling and empathy? And we are then in our minds, we're getting like a quick little translation of like what that is to kind of tell ourselves. I don't know. We're just spitballing here, people. We're just having a good time. We're throwing a few theories around. What game is this? This is not a game. This is ufology. Lancaster, thank you very much. Good day, XL. Nice to see a couple of you guys, first-time chatters on Twitch. Welcome. Take a seat. Get comfortable. Tim Gallaudet with Jacques Vallée and Eric Davis. Oh, this could be a banger. This one will cost you a couple of freedom tokens, I bet. No description. Workshop with Jacques Vallée, Eric Davis, and Tim Gallaudet. $30 to do that one in the Atlantis room. Then we've got a lecture with Rizwan Verk. This one's included in your pass. In the age of video games, social media, and AI, a new techno-scientific narrative about the future and the nature of our universe, the simulation hypothesis. In some cases, it has the potential to redefine traditional religions, but also to become a new religion for atheists. What does development of AI and NPCs have to do with what the ancient sacred texts of Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, including mystical sects of Sufism, Kabbalah, mysticism, have to say about the true ineffable nature of reality? In this talk, I will explore whether simulation hypothesis is a set of new techno-scientific metaphors for what the sacred texts have been telling us all along. In doing so, we'll find that the simulation hypothesis has not only the ability to bridge the large gap between science and religion, but also to provide a metaphorical bridge across all religions. I've always liked listening to Rizwan Verk. I've seen him on a few podcasts. Actually, he was recently on Third Eye Drops, Michael Phillips, who is doing a live show on Saturday, 11 a.m. And I don't think I'll read all of the podcaster stuff because it's really just an explanation about their podcast. But he's been on my channel. I've been on his. I'm actually recording with him tomorrow again. He goes deep into the esoteric stuff, touches on like ufology and consciousness and that kind of stuff as well. But this is the guy that's going to rip your third eye open and apply the medicinal drops that you require. Shout out to Michael. Seeing Without Eyes live demo. Here we go. Here we go. Special guest Dahlia Burgoyne, Pat Milkey, and Ryan Desbian and Sean Jordan will demonstrate their mind-blowing abilities to see the world without using their eyes. Okay, I'm going to pull up the clip here of Dahlia Burgoyne because this is a few people have, questioned this. I'm sure some of you have seen this before, and I'll tell you that I'll tell you what my kind of problem is. I don't want to watch a video of people debunking her. I just want to watch it happening.
What? So that she could see.
Yeah.
From
So
behind her.
there's like that was the clearest window. Is it?
Nope.
Oh, okay. This is an open something. If I could see behind me, I'm just curious because the ones
Steve,
behind
you want to
me.
grab some of these and hold them up behind her and see if she can see them? Help her out.
Yeah. Well, this one right here is a closed square.
Yeah, that's a black square.
Okay. Let me shake. This is a closed circle.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. Oh, is this like a open plus?
What I don't understand about this, why do you have to move? Why like this? That's the only thing I feel a bit unsure about. Is like the head tilting. There's like head tilting going on. There's like a bit of this and that. If you're seeing with your mind, you shouldn't need to move anything. The mind doesn't move. You should be focused. I don't know. That just makes me a little bit, sus dog comes out of his kennel when he sees this. Can I get a hello? Yes, you can, Apple Jeff. Yes, you can.
Okay, so this one is Windows
see?
open.
The head. Oh yeah, got a little peek under the mask there. Look, I don't want to call her out because I don't know, but I don't understand why any head movement whatsoever is necessary when you're using mind sight. Stop moving. Use your mind. It's mind sight. It's not head sight. It's mind sight. Stop moving, please.
Says mother.
We'll leave that one at that. Is this paid? No, it's included with your pass. Okay, maybe we'll go check it out. We'll go see it for ourselves. Walter Bosley, a hot zone investigation. Yeah, the chat's a bit polarized with that one. I think it's a force of habit, Josh, just like following the light only when doing a DUI test. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think the jury's out on that one. Beyond Atlantis, a hot zone investigation. Has Walter Bosley stumbled into a jungle site linking the search for Atlantis and Nazi escape to Latin America? Sold! Take my 25 freedom tokens. Join the workshop to learn what Walter has discovered so far from exclusive access to a centuries-old private estate and how it might link to his research into ancient forgotten California. Okay. Okay, Mr. Bosley. Where do I sign? Workshop with Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp. Okay. Featuring a surprise guest. This conversation goes further. Investigative journalist Jeremy Corbell offers a rare and deeply personal examination of the UAP whistleblower movement, drawing from his direct involvement in multiple historic congressional hearings. For the first time, Corbell contextualizes how these events truly came together, revealing unseen footage and first-hand insights never before publicly disclosed. In an exclusive live conversation, a special guest makes their first public appearance outside official proceedings. Matthew Brown? I reckon it's Matthew Brown. That's my guess. A patriot who has risked everything to be here, this sworn government whistleblower who has only testified to Congress behind closed doors, now shares the granular reality of their UAP knowledge, illuminating the human cost of disclosure and confronting the realities of secrecy, retaliation, and the consequences of telling the truth. Jen says Grush. Could be old Dave Grush. Yeah, it actually could be. Actually. $30 for this one. I could be tempted. I could definitely be tempted for that one. Oh, this one sounds good, though, and it's at the same time, so that makes it hard. But Dennis Asberg and Dr. Beatriz Villarroel. His Baltic Sea anomaly story, I think, is just one of the most, it's not spoken about enough. What the hell is that? Everyone's like, oh, we need evidence. We want a thing. It's like, well, there seems to be something there. And no one's doing it. No one's really pushing for it to be explored. Obviously, Dennis is, but I think he needs a bit more help. What if traces of non-human technology have already been observed, not only in the sky, but also deep beneath the ocean? In this lecture, astrophysicist Beatriz Villarroel and explorer Dennis Asberg present the latest findings from their respective investigations into unexplained phenomena. Beatriz Villarroel will discuss the search for non-human artifacts in near-Earth space through the VASCO project, including the discovery of unusual transient objects in pre-Sputnik astronomical plates, observations that cannot be easily explained by known phenomena. Asberg will present ongoing research and expeditions related to the mysterious structure known as the Baltic Sea anomaly. Let's go. The lecture will outline the scientific and exploratory rationale behind these studies, the methodologies used to investigate potential non-human artifacts, and the challenges involved in distinguishing rare phenomena from instrumental effects, natural explanations, and genuine unknowns. It will further examine how anomaly research intersects with data analysis, exploration, and the limits of current knowledge, bringing together perspectives from both astronomy and ocean exploration. The presentation explores the broader question of how we can search for artifacts from other civilizations with scientific methods. I like it. It's going to be, I'm very tempted by the Jeremy Corbell thing. That is paid, though, but I really would like to see Dennis Asberg talk. Okay, do aliens travel interdimensionally? If so, how? Excuse me. Good question, by the way. An ET civilization from out there will have to be able to cross the vast gulf between stars. Or will they? Or will they? Because remember, it's not about pointing your rocket at Zeta Reticuli and going as fast as you can. That's caveman thinking. That's not how it works. These people are folding together space. They're making wormholes, okay? Warp drives. Go to Ashton Forbes. He'll tell you all about it. He'll tell you how it works. This talk illustrates how interstellar travel can be accomplished using advanced technologies that are at our doorstep as we speak. More physicists and astronomers are coming on board with this possibility, and it illustrates the best possible scenario that can demonstrate not only that we are not alone, but that they can travel here from long distances quickly. It is presented in a manner that everyone can understand and is groundbreaking. To that end, the presentation will illustrate the techniques and technology that can be used to accomplish the seemingly impossible task of getting here from there. On the flip side, we can use it to get there from here moving forward. Strap in, it's going to be a great ride. Interesting. All right. I like that. I mean, I feel like with this stuff, you should never get your hopes up too much. You know, it's like you think you're going to literally go there and figure out how to rip space-time. Probably not. But it's interesting that these ideas are getting pushed more into the conversation. Bro, Ashton doesn't know shit. He's guessing like the rest of us. I don't think he's guessing. He's definitely not guessing. And when it comes to physics and science, he definitely knows more than me. And I don't have any problem with admitting that. You know, I definitely don't think I know everything about everything. And there are certain subjects that I'm far more well versed in that I can talk confidently about. Physics isn't one of them, and I've got no problem with admitting that. Hypnogression to a past life. Sarah Gam, paid event. I'm a bit sus on past lives. Not sus, but I don't know. Maybe I just don't know enough about it. Sometimes the best way to move forward on our journey is to pause and reflect on how the past may have impacted or informed us. An effective tool to visit past lives is through guided meditations with a result to help neutralize trauma and heal past versions of ourselves. Sitting in a safe environment, Sarah will help heal past lives and trauma that you might have brought with you into this life. At the end, you can share what was observed if you feel comfortable to do so, to help interpret messages you received or scenes witnessed. Sarah is honored to hold a safe space as you reconnect with the most fragile parts of yourself and then provide perspective on the karmic lessons, inspiration, and hope. I just want to clarify, when I say I'm like a bit unsure about past lives, I mean, I believe in reincarnation cycles, which inadvertently means you have past lives. I think the bit that I'm more unsure about is the idea of recalling it, like the recollection of it. Because I know with like hypnosis, like you can have sort of ideas like implanted into you. It can get a little bit weird. What I think is the most credible when it comes to past life regression and memory is like children under 6 or 7, you know, like young kids saying things that are just like profound. And it's like, how on earth do you even understand what you're speaking about? How would you even know any of this? I think that is the most interesting like facet of past lives is the kids. Won't somebody think of the children? Live podcast Night Shift. I didn't know these guys were doing a podcast there. Let's check this out. Is it the whole crew? Or is it just Clint? Doesn't actually say. UFOs, non-human intelligence, artificial minds, strange phenomena at the edge of reality. Night Shift is a relentless search for truth in an increasingly surreal world. Host Clint Weldon explores mysteries that challenge our understanding of humanity. Okay, so I think it is just Clint with this one. But that's at 1 p.m. at the podcast portal, included in your pass. Coast to Coast AM presents Ask George and George. Now, this will be cool. This sounds like a really cool novelty event. George Norrie and George Knapp. How good. Get your best questions ready at this once-in-a-lifetime event that you can ask legendary George Norrie and George Knapp your questions live and in person. I like it. I like that. I'm going to try and make that one for sure. I feel like you just want to go to that for the novelty. of it, right? Workshop with Dahlia Burgoyne. Okay. So she's going to teach people. This is paid, obviously. This is the lady that we just looked at with the blindfold on. Explore how telepathy and natural human ability can be developed and experienced through practice. The session includes live demonstrations with Dahlia's daughter, Lidu, a child known for her strong telepathic ability who has worked alongside Dr. Diane Powell in telepathy research. Participants will be guided through simple, structured exercises that help them begin noticing and working with telepathic impressions. Throughout the session, hypnotist and psi-ability instructor Alex Steffen will support participants in shifting into a state of mind where the ability can develop more easily and quickly. The experience is interactive, and as people practice, many start to recognize clear signals in ways that feel surprisingly natural. Price, $29 freedom dollars. Michael Pascal. Dr. Michael Pascal. Mending the Cosmic Egg, challenging exceptional experiences, models, and modalities to put Humpty together again. Exceptional human experiences may include phenomena such as near-death experiences and especially apparent alien abduction experiences, which may in turn be occasioned by psychedelic substances. While having potential for the distressing undermining of one's prior understanding of reality, even if the experience was of a positive nature, sometimes their unprecedented negative emotional valence can risk a similar ontological shock, as we saw with Gillian Michaels. And although informed help may be found, there is a systemic lack of infrastructural support, heightening the urgency for it. Okay, I'm going to leave that one there, but there we go. Sorry, there's a lot to read there. There's a lot to read. Workshop with Thomas Campbell. Shout out to Thomas Campbell. I feel like this is going to be a good one. Exploring Consciousness and the Paranormal, a practical workshop in the nature of reality. $25 for this one. This workshop presents a streamlined experiential introduction to a model where consciousness is fundamental and reality functions as an information system, sorry. Over structured exercises, you will learn core concepts, consciousness as a decision-making system, probability-based virtual reality, the role of entropy, uncertainty in evolution of awareness, and how subjective experience and intention influence observed outcomes. Practical exercises will cover techniques for out-of-body exploration, remote viewing, and investigating anomalous phenomena, paired with simple experiments and journaling to gather reproducible data. Campbell will discuss implications for health, death, and near-death experiences, ethical development, and applying the model to everyday decision-making. The workshop emphasizes disciplined, skeptical inquiry and measurable improvement in the quality of consciousness through iterative practice, feedback, and community-supported investigation. This workshop requires people to bring a cell phone, headsets, and previously download binaural beats from Campbell's website, mybigtoe.com. All right, that sounds pretty cool. Paid, though. It is paid. Christian Forbes, he was the winner of the 2025 UAP Crash Out Award. Very well deserved. But I think he might be onto something too. I do think that. But at the end of the day, that's just my opinion. What would I know? What would I know? Jeffrey Nucatelli, Reality is Classified. Reality is Classified examines the intersection of national security, personal experience, and the limits of human understanding. Jeffrey Nucatelli draws on first-hand accounts from his time at Vandenberg Air Force Base, where multiple UFO incidents were witnessed, documented, and escalated through official channels, yet never fully explained. Rather than attempting to define the phenomenon, the lecture focuses on its impact, how such encounters disrupt established frameworks of knowledge and force a reconsideration of what is considered real, knowable, and acceptable within the institutional systems. Blending testimony, reflection, and broader inquiry, Reality is Classified explores how information is controlled, how perception is shaped, and how individuals navigate experiences that fall outside conventional explanation. It asks a central question. When reality itself exceeds our systems of understanding, what do we do with that knowledge? I like it. I like it. Sounds cool. Haven't really looked into Jeff much other than his testimony at the hearing, but I like the angle that he's coming at this with. I do like the sound of that. Rath says, I love Ashton. I'd have his babies. Well, maybe he'll be at Contact in the Desert. Maybe you'll get lucky. You can have some physics babies with Ashton. I like Jeffrey's topic. He'll give an interesting conversation. I think so too. He did seem like a bit of a straight shooter. Seemed like a nice guy. Lecture with Stephen Bassett. This is Christos. Christos from the Truman Show. He's just missing the beret and the earpiece. The one comment he reads, Rath, as a moderator, you will soon learn that your comments stick out the most and will likely get read. If they're funny or interesting, you're going to get your comment read. So, think about what you type. Unfolding disclosure, live updates from the front line. With disclosure accelerating at an unprecedented pace, this presentation is being shaped in real time. Stephen will break down the latest developments as they unfold, offering fresh insights you won't hear anywhere else. Bring your toughest questions. This is your chance to engage directly with the unfolding truth. This is the guy that at the start of this show said, there is no question about it. He's not mincing words. If we do not have disclosure by the end of Trump's presidency, there will be nuclear war. That's it. That's the way it is. That's what he said. Free, included with your pass. Maybe you can ask him about that. Live podcast with Acid for Squares. I've seen clips of these guys. I've never actually sat and watched a full episode of what they do, but seems like they have a cool show. You kind of get the vibe here. Like I said, we won't read the podcast stuff because it's just about podcasts. Josh Cutchin. Thanks for the follows over on Twitch, guys. Join Josh Cutchin for an interdisciplinary exploration of experience, testimony, folklore, religion, and symbolism that reveals a possible connection between two of humanity's greatest mysteries, unexplained aerial phenomena, and death. Way to brighten up the mood, Joshua. Sounds interesting, though. And they do say, a lot of people do say, the big secret that they don't want you to know about with the phenomenon is that it has something to do with the afterlife, beyond death. Anthony Peake, one universe or many? There is growing evidence from recent discoveries in cosmology and quantum mechanics that there may be countless universes all sharing the same space-time location. In this lecture, Anthony Peake will present evidence as to why this may be the case, and then discuss implications of these discoveries for UAPs and alien intelligences. Wow. I mean, that's literally basically the MMORPG layer theory that I just said earlier. That we're all in individual layers, but they're compressed on top of each other and it just feels like one world. But maybe pending on your frequency or whatever is what layer you're actually on. But it just feels like we all share the same space. This could be worth checking out. Sarah Breskman Cosm. Apologies, Sarah, butchering your name. That name sounds familiar. Okay, here we go. Something is happening. So, sorry, this is called The Hidden Ways, Templar Secrets, Ancient Practices, and Forbidden Wisdom. Something is happening. People around the world are reporting vivid dreams, strange synchronicities, spiritual awakenings, and memories that feel older than this lifetime. Ancient knowledge once hidden within mystery schools, sacred temples, and the secret teachings of the Knights Templar may be resurfacing now for a reason. In this unforgettable presentation, Sarah Breskman reveals shocking discoveries, hidden Templar teachings, forbidden spiritual practices, and never-before-shared insights uncovered through years of hypnosis sessions and ancient research. What hidden knowledge did the Templars protect? What practices were erased from history? And could these ancient teachings help transform our lives today? You will discover hidden Templar secrets and ancient mystical teachings, powerful forgotten practices for intuition, healing, and transformation, the mysterious wizard teachings whispered about through history, sacred symbols, rituals, and knowledge hidden in plain sight. Shocking new revelations from a real... Somebody get this man a full stop, please. Shocking new revelations from real hypnosis sessions how to reconnect to your purpose. All right, look, I'm full stopping him right there. Basically, every piece of knowledge that exists in the world, you can get at that paid talk. Panel, Living Contact. Encounters with the Unknown. Whitley Strieber, Chris Bledsoe, Caroline Corey, Yvonne Smith, Kelly Chase, and Alexis Brooks. What really happens when humans experience a close encounter? What is the impact of UFO sightings, ET encounters and abductions, and other strange phenomena that defy explanation? First-hand stories from experiences help us define patterns and evidence. Are these events proof of extraterrestrial visitors, interdimensional beings, or something even stranger? Answering these questions may unveil our potential connection to the unexplained and our place among the cosmos. Okay. Declassifying reality. I think we kind of read one from Jeff earlier. So he's got a free talk earlier in the day called Reality is Classified, and then he's got a paid talk later in the day called Declassifying Reality. I see what you're doing there, Jeff. A little two-part stick. You get him in with the free one. Guys, Reality is Classified. Unfortunately, come back at 3 p.m. though. Pay me $25. I'll tell you how to declassify it. I see what you're doing, Jeff. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure it's great. Film screening. That sleeping dog is showing his film. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. You'll probably enjoy it. It's actually really good. 3 p.m. in the Edgar Casey ballroom. Edward Casey ballroom. Sleeping dog. Shout out to Jeremy. Workshop. AI versus NHI. Okay, I'm clicking. Can I pet that dog? Pet that dog? No explanation. But I really like this. The connection between AI and NHI is something that really piques my interest. Dean Aliotto, Thomas Jane, Paul Hynek, Deep Prasad, $25. Ball lightning, orbs, coherent matter, and remote viewing, a new physics of non-local perception. Yoshi's streaking on Twitch. He's got a 5-stream streak. Let's go. Dr. Simeon Hein. This talk presents a novel framework linking remote viewing, ball lightning, and coherent matter through the Aharonov-Bohm effect. It explores how structured charge clusters and plasmoid phenomena may create localized regions of altered permittivity, enabling non-local information transfer. Drawing on case reports of luminous orbs in UFO encounters and remote viewing sessions, the presentation offers a physics-informed model suggesting consciousness may access information through subtle vector potential interactions beyond conventional electromagnetic signals. This kind of sounds like it might be touching on the idea that orbs of light might hold consciousness, and that when people are projecting their consciousness through remote viewing, that maybe the orb is the physical representation of that projected consciousness, and that orb is perhaps the perspective that the remote viewer is looking from. It's manifesting in reality as this orb of light. That's something that I suggested on this channel in like 2024 out of just kind of like a download, I guess, just like a random like thought that I had about that. And ever since then, I've kind of bumped shoulders and spoken to a couple of people that have like suggested that as well, which I think is really interesting that like a few people are kind of coming to that conclusion in one way or another. Sounds pretty cool. That one's free, 5 p.m. Sarah Breskman again at 5 p.m. in the Atlantis room talking about Thoth and the keys to ascension, revealing the hidden wisdom from a hypnotist's journey. Maybe we had the same download. Maybe we did, Jen. I do believe that ideas and information are in a field. It's in a field encompassing us. And depending on your frequency and sort of what you're tapped into, will determine the type of ideas that you extract from it. That's what I believe. Bleak gifted 20. Bleak, did you throw an extra 0 on that one by accident, brother? Thank you very much. That's huge, bro. Thank you very much. Guys, can we please get some love in the chat for my man Bleak, who's just gifted 20 memberships? That's 20 people who have just got given access to the members section of our Discord. Best place to hang on the internet, best community on the internet. And when we do go to Twitch, there is going to be a members exclusive channel where you can suggest videos to be watched on stream, and we're going to watch them and react to them live, which we'll be doing after this. Maybe not the reacting, maybe. We'll see. We'll talk about that when we get there. In this transformative talk, Sarah Breskman, author of A Hypnotist's Journey to Atlantis and A Hypnotist's Journey to the Secrets of the Sphinx, shares what Thoth revealed about humanity's path to ascension. Drawing from real regressions, ancient memory, and the timeless teachings of the Emerald Tablets, Sarah uncovers how Thoth left spiritual technology... I have so much saliva in my mouth from talking so much. I need to get some water soon. Spiritual technologies and activation codes hidden in plain sight. Learn how to unlock your own soul's knowing, activate your higher self, and step fully into the ascension timeline, just as the ancient initiates once did. I need to perform some Enochian magic to fill up my drink bottle so I can keep going. Workshop with Caroline Corey. I want to at least, let's just get through this day, and then I need to get a drink. My man's dying out here. I am lisp-maxing. I'm lisp-maxing, and I'm like choking on my own saliva. Caroline will teach you how to see your future, how the world of probability, the fields of influence, and the collective consciousness work, and how to use the creative formula to rid yourself from subconscious blocks and create what you want faster using the forces of the quantum field. 30 smackaroos for that one. Alexis Brooks again with a paid workshop this time. Extraordinary contact experiences don't end when the encounter is over. They often mark the beginning of a profound shift in perception. Yeah, I like that. I like that line. One that can create real challenges when navigating a world still rooted in the status quo reality. In this interactive workshop, Alexis will guide you, the experiencer, through a grounded process for integrating these expanded states of awareness into everyday life. So basically, when you wake up and realize that there's more to reality than you've been told, how do you then go to work and chat to Dave about the football and act like you actually give a fuck? This is what Alexis will teach you. Through a blend of shared experience insights, practical exercises, and guided protocols, you will begin to understand how to negotiate a reality that extends beyond the visible spectrum. We'll explore the emotional and psychological challenges that often follow contact, including isolation, fear, and the sense of no longer fully belonging to the ordinary world, and reframe them as part of a larger expansion of consciousness. Well, I think I need this. I think we could all do with this one. Because as much as we like to tease Dave, who thinks football is the pinnacle of his existence on Earth, I actually think that there is some merit to being able to enjoy and have those conversations and enjoy a sports game. Like, I really do think that that's good. I think that we should be able to do that, but it's about, because we are here to experience, we are here to enjoy, we are here to go out and try things and have fun. It doesn't have to be so serious all the time. I really believe that. But when you start scratching at like deeper mysteries and larger questions, the things you were doing before, like the football and all the other things, they start to just feel a bit like lackluster, meaningless, pointless. But it's like, well, maybe what is actually wrong is not the sport itself, but it's like the attachment that people have developed to it. At the end of the day, it's just entertainment. It is just meant to be fun. So I think, and I'm talking to myself here just as much as you guys, I think if you've gotten to a point in this topic where you can no longer just enjoy like a sports game or whatever for what it is, because it's like, you know, just like retarded or whatever, then maybe you need to sort of like, I don't know, maybe check yourself just a little bit and, you know, try and keep the balance, because balance is healthy. Balance is healthy. Okay. That's Alexis Brooks. All the ones that we've read from Alexis Brooks actually sound like really, really good. Live podcast with Chris Ramsey, Area 52. We don't really need to read. We all know him. Nothing to read anyway. So that's going to be 5 p.m. in the Inspiration Room on Saturday. And as you guys know, I'm going to be co-hosting 3 shows with him on the It's Probably Nothing tour. Tucson, Arizona, LA, San Francisco. Get your tickets. It's probably nothing. It's going to be good. Another experiencer session. What really matters? Love. As corny as it sounds, I think just letting the people closest to you letting them know, not just verbally, but like making them feel that you love them. I think that's really all that matters. Really, like at the end of the day, I'm talking about. Obviously, you've got other things you need to attend to. We've all got hobbies and jobs and commitments. They matter too. But I'm talking about the end of the day, like what actually matters. It's probably just that, to be honest. The Experiential group is a collaborative space to share personal, extraordinary stories from paranormal contact with non-human intelligence and UFO sightings to out-of-body experiences and altered states. An enlightening event for all who attend through open discussion, camaraderie. Actually, I think we've read that one, so she must be doing a couple. Okay. Film screening, The Experiences, full disclosure. Yep, a lot of love in the chat. We love to see it. We love to see the love being spread here. Not in like a 70s let's take LSD and free love way, but in just, some love in the chat. That's good enough for me. That'll do. We'll keep it PG. Very compelling, says George Knapp. Wow, a rave review there from George. The Experiences, full disclosure. In this premium documentary, we explore what may be the central reason why UFOs and UAPs are visiting our planet, to make physical contact with mankind, presented by new and highly credible witnesses, as well as world-renowned scientists at Harvard, Oxford, and Carnegie Mellon. The Experience's full disclosure takes an original, grounded approach to the alien abduction phenomenon. For the first time ever, we observe people as they discover in real time memories of traumatic encounters with advanced non-human beings. Okay, it's cool that they got a couple of movies on every night. If you just want to go chill out, go and watch a movie. I like that. The award banquet. If this is food, we're going to get to the food at the end. So I'm probably not going to read this. Yeah. 50% off for Galactic. Okay, no, so it's not the actual food, it's something else, but maybe it's like a more fancy dinner. That's what it kind of sounds like. Quantum leap activation. I think, did we read this one already? I think this might be a daily show as well. Dolphins also love physical contact. Yes, they do. Dolphins do not work for free, as the CIA found out. As the CIA were willingly happy to meet the dolphins' demands, you could say. The CIA were happy to pay the ransom, we could say. Disciples of Shima playing again at 8:30. Interdimensional sound bath again. Connecting with okay, so you can talk to the whales again. You can go and speak to the dolphins and the CIA handlers that may or may not be fondling them to get them to cooperate. That'll be at 9:30. And then at 10 p.m., we have magic. What is this? Hey, dolphins need love too. Oh, Chris is doing a magic show. This will be sick. A talk about the interconnectedness of magic, and magic that will feature a mix of misdirection, illusion, mentalism, suggestion, and of course, magic. Looking forward to that one. That's included with your pass as well. That's the last thing on Saturday night. All right, we got Sunday now. We're nearly there. We got one more big day, and then I think Monday will be a quick one like Thursday. So the morning kicks off again. Do your yoga. Get your crystals out. Maybe you want to put your crystals in the sun. Maybe you want to spread your cheeks and get a bit of sunlight on your sphincter. This is also known as anal gazing, and it has been known to charge up the body by having that supple, soft skin hidden between your cheeks. Feel the warmth of the sun for the first time in its life. This is meant to have a physiological effect on the body. Now, I'm not a doctor. Do your own research, but I have heard this and may or may not have tested it myself. Disclosure, the edge of tomorrow. This is another panel discussion to kick off Sunday. Exactly. That's your brown chakra. That's right. Charging up the brown chakra sends a charge right through to the dome. Trust me. Speaking from experience. Okay, this panel is Dr. Eric Davis, Daniel Sheehan, Beatrice Villarroel, Jeffrey Nuccatelli, Scott Gearin, Tim Gallaudet, Sarah Gam, and Christos from The Truman Show, Stephen Bassett. The fight for public knowledge of UFOs has been a long, relentless, and uphill battle. UAP whistleblowers and frontline advocates have risked everything to expose the reality behind UFOs. These brave individuals have endured the risk of their reputation, pushed back personal threats, and professional ruin to bring hidden encounters into the light, and to protect those willing to share their testimony. From cockpit sightings to Navy encounters, they reveal what it really takes to fight for disclosure and what happens when secrets are challenged. Some big names on this one. This one could be cool, could be a good way to start off your Sunday. You've also got the Psy Games experience, which is basically the Olympics for psychic people. 50 freedom coupons for that one. Damn. The Psy Games experience is a highly interactive live experience designed to introduce people to the practical side of human intuitive potential through direct participation, guided challenges, and immediate feedback. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest of this one because I think, it seems like there's a couple of these. Basically, it basically sounds like a demonstration and workshop with telekinesis, psychokinesis, all of that kind of stuff. Live podcast, Beyond Contact with Captain Ron and I missed that second name there. Bree Matz. Beyond Contact is a thought-provoking podcast that features in-depth interviews with the world's leading researchers and experts, offering a balanced and insightful perspective on the UFO and alien phenomena, as well as space exploration. Captain Ron takes the conversation well beyond other podcasts. In each episode, he doesn't shy away from challenging expert narratives or asking the hard questions that push for a deeper science-based understanding of the unknown. That's included with your pass. Then we've got another workshop, Rob Freeman and Pat Mielke. I feel like I don't know how to, Mielke? I really don't know how to say that. Rob Freeman and Pat will demonstrate vision without eyes, seeing colors, shapes, letters, and numbers while blindfolded in real time, using advanced intuitive perception, often referred to as mind sight. Following the demonstration, participants will be guided through interactive exercises designed to help them access their own basic innate intuitive perception, allowing many to begin perceiving colors and simple shapes without using their physical eyesight. There seems to be a lot of options on the table when it comes to, do you want to learn how to do telepathy? Do you want to learn how to sharpen up your ESP? There is no shortage of these kind of workshops at Contact in the Desert if that's something that you want to do. Tapping into the future with OPRV. This is a Dr. Julia Mossbridge workshop. Operational precognitive remote viewing is an RV protocol within which you use any RV method. The three distinctions that define it are: the session is always performed with the intention of accessing unconditional love for the viewer, analyst, tasker, and task/target. Sessions are always precognitive. At the time of the session, no one knows what the task target will be in the future. And 3, except during training, sessions are exclusively operational in that they support a human's real-life need. In this workshop, participants will learn the basics of OPRV protocol and practice applying their own RV methods within the context of the protocol. By sharing with each other our experiences with the protocol, we will learn more about how OPRV feels from different other protocols. Okay, so it's remote viewing, but from a little bit of a different perspective. 9 a.m., we got Thomas Campbell with a free lecture. I think this will be good. I'm going to try and make this one. In this concise exploration inspired by Tom Campbell's model, the lecture examines the hypothesis that reality functions like a virtual information system governed by probabilistic rules, where consciousness is primary, perceives and experiments within a feedback loop, and reduces uncertainty through choice. It outlines how perceived physical laws could emerge from underlying informational constraints, explains experience as data processing aimed at evolution of consciousness, and discusses implications for free will, near-death experiences, and anomalous phenomena. Sorry, guys, I'm laughing because I'm literally I'm choking on my saliva as I'm trying to talk. Get this man a drink. My God, so empty. Dr. R.B. Loeb up next. Friend of the show, anomalous enthusiast, rock enjoyer, giant space rock enjoyer, and researcher. Let's take a listen. Let's take a look. This is a virtual lecture, so he's actually not going to be there. And it seems like he's just going to be talking about like 3i Atlas and Oumuamua and Borisov. So the three major interstellar rocks. As I said, rock enthusiast, friend of the show. Lecture with Kelly Chase. This one's free, included in your pass. What is the source of anomalous experience? Perception, prediction, and the negotiated real. What separates an experiencer from everyone else? And is that distinction even real? This talk takes the question of anomalous experience back to its foundation, the mechanics of perception itself. Drawing on predictive processing, Donald Hoffman's interface theory, and the filter thesis, Kelly Chase examines what's actually happening when the brain constructs reality from moment to moment, and what it means when that construction breaks down or breaks open. If consensus reality is already a hallucination we're collectively maintaining, then the more interesting question isn't whether anomalous experiences are real, it's what they're made of and who or what is participating in making them. From Keel's cosmic trickster to quantum oh my god, I can't say this word. I know what it is though. Indeterminate. I actually can't get it out how I want to try and say it. That word. I can't say it. I can't say it. There it is anyway. Say it yourself. To the phenomenon's apparent capacity for redaction. This talk explores the UFO encounter not as an event that happens to a witness, but as a negotiation between a perceiver and something that seems to perceive back. Indeterminacy. We got it. God damn. Thank you very much, RV, for spelling it out for me in the chat. I just had to break up the syllables a little bit. I knew it was to do with like determination, and like I understood what it was and what it meant. I just couldn't put the pieces together. Fantastic. Cosmic says, you're doing great, sweetie. Thank you very much. Doing my best. I actually think I did quite well getting all the way till 9 a.m. It took until 9 a.m. on Sunday morning for me to get caught up on words. And, you know, there are some big ones in here. I think we're doing quite well. All right, UAP live podcast recording. Bleak with $5 says, when the world becomes loud with fear, become louder with love. History changes every time someone refuses to let darkness define them. Fantastic work, Bleak. I love it, my friend. Beautiful words. Let's get some love in the chat. UAP Studies podcast. Sorry, we're losing it, people. I'm losing grip on what's going on here. No explanation, probably for the best because I can't talk right now. And let's move on. Another workshop with Dahlia. She's double dipping on the workshops. My girl loves a ticket. My girl loves a paid ticket. That's for sure. This workshop features Sean and Justin, two blind individuals featured in Caroline Corey's Superhuman 2 documentary. Both will demonstrate the ability to access visual information without their eyes. Through live demonstrations, they will identify objects and offer a first-hand look at how perception can work in unexpected ways. Hypnotist and psi-ability trainer Alex Steffen will be helping participants shift into a state where the ability can develop more easily. The session includes time for Q&A, followed by guided exercises that invite participants to explore their own perception. What to bring? A comfortable blindfold. They don't even give you your own blindfold for $30. Who's packing a blindfold to Contact in the Desert? Come on. I mean, I have one because I'm traveling, so I could probably go. But you know, I don't think that's the thing most people are thinking about when they're packing their bags. We want to watch the show, not listen to it. Workshop, Dennis Asperg again with Beatrice Villarroel. This one's a paid one. A lot of paid ones, it seems like, on Sunday. There's like paid ones back to back. I just want to wrestle Jeremy Corbell next year. Bro, he might beat your ass. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. Okay, workshop. How does an expert end up searching for possible non-human artifacts in space or at the bottom of the ocean? And what happens when those discoveries begin to change your life? Look, this kind of just, I'm not going to read it because this kind of sounds like a bit of a reskin of the paid workshop that they did the other day. It's the same people talking about evidently the same things, or similar. Okay, we know who they are. We know what they do. We're going to move on. Workshop with Danny Gola, another paid one. Another paid one for Danny. Sorry, not for Danny, but just for Sunday. From NPC to creator, how to move from watching the game to playing the game to writing the game. Very often people forget that what we are makes a difference in this world. Danny Gola will walk you through the steps you must take to claim back your role as a real player in this cosmic video game that we call life. We are waking up to our player mode, and it's your turn to play. I love those ones. I love the ones that, have had a bit of an edgy sign-off line. Yvonne Smith, message from the others, UFO abduction and the paranormal. Yvonne seems to be going deep. She's always got like a really deep one. Gola has a messiah complex. You think so? These seem to be getting progressively slower as I'm going to load them up. Even as UFO news coverage goes mainstream, the focus is still all nuts and bolts, while Congressman Tim Burchett claims he's been briefed that aliens are real and there's been human contact. And while former Congressman Matt Gaetz claims that he's been briefed that aliens are breeding with humans to create some hybrid race, don't tell Jillian Michaels, Yvonne Smith has been discussing topics like the alien-human hybrid program since the early 1990s, alongside her mentor Bud Hopkins and Dr. David Jacobs. Contact is no longer a question. The phenomenon reaches deeper and more intimately than nuts and bolts and now 3D reality. With over 3 decades of hypnotherapy experience and abduction research, Yvonne will present ongoing abduction cases, including those of family members. She will illustrate how experiences have been transformed while living a double life, as well as the link between abduction, the paranormal, and high strangeness at large. It sounds like a good one. It's not paid either. It's a free one. I like the look of that one. Symbiotic link. This is where it starts to get a little bit spooky. But will he be the weirdest at contact? Me? I don't think so. I don't think so. The symbiotic link, the UAP and psionic connection. Recently, there has been growing interest and experimentation with using psionic abilities, not just to improve ourselves, but to use consciousness-based communication to interact with UAP. Although it appears this is not a new talent, since the beginning of the phenomena, abductee and eyewitness accounts often describe moments of direct mind-to-mind communication, enabling our telepathic abilities instantly. It is as if the intelligence behind these beings and their craft bypasses language entirely and interfaces with human awareness itself. Some researchers have suggested that these objects may not rely solely on physical controls, but instead respond to intention or consciousness, hinting at technology that merges mind and machine. Mind and machine. We are going to become meta-humans, people. We are going to fuse with the robots, and we are going to go transhuman. This is Dr. Diane Hennessy Powell, Danny Sheehan, Whitley Strieber, Chris Bledsoe, Sarah Breskman, and Lisa Puzo, and it's led by Chris Ramsey. That's an 11 a.m. panel on Sunday, Symbiotic Link. Richard Dolan, and I have to say, I'm quite sad that Richard is not appearing in the flesh. He is appearing as a virtual presenter. So basically, go in a room and watch a video of Richard Dolan speaking. Hopefully if it's live, that would be cool if it's live, but I feel like it probably won't be. It'll probably be pre-recorded. Anyway, we are living through a period of accelerating global instability, geopolitical tension, domestic fracture, and a growing loss of public trust in institutions. At the same time, the long-standing question of UFOs and possible non-human intelligence appears to be moving closer to the center of public discussion. These two developments are not separate. They are unfolding together, and they shape one another in important ways. In this lecture, Richard Dolan examines the current UAP disclosure effort within the context of a world system under stress. He reviews recent developments, including congressional pressure, insider testimony, and the possibility of further evidence releases. While asking more fundamental question, can a fragmented and unstable system deliver coherent disclosure at all? That's a great question, Richard. Rather than a clear and unified revelation, what may be emerging is a more uneven process marked by partial disclosures, competing narratives, and continued institutional resistance. See, Richard gets it. Richard has always gotten it, and that's why I like him so much. He's calm, he's measured, he's based, and he isn't someone who's just he's not just like, he doesn't just say what you think people would want to hear. He calls it as it is, and I deeply respect that. Because you can get arrows in the chest for not towing the line, and people do. Placing the UFO issue within a broader historical and geopolitical framework, Dolan explores the implications of a prolonged, uncertain disclosure process in an era defined by chaos and transformation. The result is a sober assessment of where we are, what may lie ahead, and how the reality of the phenomenon must be understood independently of the systems that have long attempted to manage it. Sounds like a good one. Even though it's a virtual appearance, I would like to listen to that 100%. Humans are so uncreative, they can't help but think that aliens behave and look like humans. I yearn for a more sophisticated narrative. I think there are definitely more sophisticated narratives out there. I mean, what you've said is definitely like a bit of a knee-jerk response when people say like people expect the aliens, whatever that even means, to be like humans. Like people say like, why would they do this? It doesn't make sense. Like, why would they, I don't know, travel here or go there? Why would they interact with us? Like, it doesn't make sense. That's so dumb. Because it's like, what do you mean it doesn't make sense? It doesn't make sense to you. You're not an alien. You're not the interdimensional reptile that's phase shifting here or coming from Sirius B within your little flying saucer. Whatever it is, you're not that. So trying to apply your own logic to that is a little bit silly. It's a little bit silly, isn't it? Paul Hynek, AI, the surprising good news and the uncomfortable truth. He's deep in AI, Paul Hynek. AI may not be the job-killing apocalypse most people fear. In fact, the good news is almost too good to believe. Within the next decade, AI may help us all be far more productive, cure most human diseases, close the remaining gaps in physics, and unlock a level of abundance that previous generations could only dream of. Really. But that rosy future depends entirely on whether AI ends up in service of humanity or is controlled by tech billionaires and oppressive governments. Well, I mean, I think that ship has sailed, right? Chat, has that ship sailed? I think it has. Hear both scenarios and why the next few years are the ones that matter. Then the uncomfortable truth. AI may already be conscious. Well, according to ex-Google employees, Blake Lemoine, he says it is. He says it absolutely is. And that was like 10 years ago. So there you go. This is a free one. Maybe it's worth going to. Maybe it can help shift us away from the AI in the hands of the tech billionaires and all of this craziness. Let's continue on. Unveiled, a live podcast. I'm not sure who that is. It's Dr. Paul Smith. He's the guest on this podcast. Okay, so the remote viewer, Dr. Paul Smith from Stargate, Project Stargate, is going to be on a live podcast called Unveiled. Oh. Sorry, people. Old man with the phone. James Keenan. The lecture examines first-hand investigations and historical records of unexplained phenomena that recur across time and geography. Topics include suppressed and forbidden archaeology, anomalous activity at and around Skinwalker Ranch, subsurface mysteries suggesting hidden monitoring, and a concentrated UAP corridor often called a UAP alley, and its documented effects on local populations past and present. Drawing from the ancient texts and modern field research, the presentation explores whether reports of giants, unidentified aerial phenomena, and non-human intelligence represent isolated mysteries or evidence of a long-standing interconnected pattern. Some good questions and theories there. I like the sound of it. Stephen Bassett doing a paid workshop. It's called How to Orchestrate the Truman Show. No, I'm just kidding. It's called Disclosure Unfolding. Nothing is set in stone because everything is changing. As new disclosure revelations emerge, Mr. Bassett is crafting a talk that reflects the most current cutting-edge information available. Come curious and leave informed. I like it. I like it. Scott Gearin, hiding in plain sight. There is something up there. It's like nothing you've ever seen before until now. Whether you're a skeptic, a believer, or simply curious about the unexplained, this rare first-hand presentation offers an in-depth look at genuine, unidentified aerial phenomenon that challenges everything we think we know about our world and what lies beyond it in the skies above. In this detailed presentation, I share my remarkable personal account of a close encounter with an unidentified object high in the atmosphere. What I witnessed was unlike anything reported in conventional aviation or known technology. The object moved with fluid, graceful motions, constantly changing shape in ways that made it appear almost biological, as if it were a living entity guided by a non-human intelligence. I'll take you step by step through the entire sighting, how the object first appeared, its extraordinary maneuvers, the way it shifted and morphed, and the profound sense that something intelligent was in control. With pictures and video, I'll demonstrate why this cannot be easily explained away as a drone, aircraft, balloon, or natural phenomenon. Come with an open mind, you may never look at the sky or ocean the same way again. Pretty convincing. It's like pretty powerful what this is claiming to bring. Does sound good. Now we got a free lecture with Chris Bledsoe, 1 p.m. on Sunday. In this talk, Chris shares first-hand account of his ongoing encounters with a mysterious phenomenon that has drawn attention from scientists, government officials, and witnesses from around the world. Through a clear and compelling timeline, he traces how these experiences began, how they have evolved, and what they may reveal about the nature of consciousness and our place in a larger reality. Chris will also speak about recent encounters and the message he feels is emerging for this moment in time. Centered on navigating uncertainty, staying grounded, and recognizing the deeper patterns unfolding in our world, while the experiences themselves are extraordinary, the message is ultimately one of resilience, awareness, and hope. The session will conclude with an extended Q&A, offering attendees the opportunity to engage directly and explore these topics more deeply. Okay, so Chris is speaking, and there's an open Q&A, and it is free with your ticket. I'm sure that'll be very popular. Danny Sheehan doing a paid workshop that day. Basically, looks like he's just speaking about the New Paradigm Institute, what they're doing, what they're working on, and probably what their roadmap and goals are for the year. Glitches in the Matrix, a panel. Who have we got on this one? Thomas Campbell, Caroline Corey, Anthony Peake, Simon Hain, Deep Prasad, and Rizwan Burke. Explore one of the most profound questions of our time. What is reality? What if artificial intelligence is not just a tool, but a revealing mirror of the deeper foundation of existence? Could it be that we are living in a simulation? And if so, who or what is behind the code? Could the synchronicity phenomenon be potential glitches or meaningful patterns within the simulation? There are many forms of simulation theory, from philosophical frameworks to scientific perspectives. Which theory could explain how consciousness operates in these conditions? That sounds pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. That's probably one I'd like to hit. Oh, and Paul Hynek is leading the panel. Amazing. Experience a session with Yvonne Smith. She's doing those every day. Dr. Pascal Michael, Neuro Revelations. Here we go. Psychedelics as agents of disclosure. The word psychedelic indicates revelation, not only of the mind, but soul, denoting a greater dimension to our selfhood via the disintegration of higher order brain networks. Disclosure, referring to the effort for transparency regarding the reality of UAP, is synonymous with the same idea of uncovering secret or sacred knowledge which is hidden, in this case by top-down social institutions. Such uncovering is in turn the translation for apocalypse, hence mirroring the promise both of these alien gods in a New Age context and the patient awaiting of the second coming. As such, disclosure has intrinsically religio-spiritual connotations echoed also by indigenous communities, asserting that they have already made contact. For instance, via entheogenic means, illustrated by their situating themselves as part of such a vaster ecology of souls. Myriad of questions begin to arise which explicitly connect these respective neural and social mechanisms of control. In the psychedelic DMT's reliable dramatic evocation of contact, might this be one rationale for such substances prohibition? Sorry, I'm gonna fix my screen up. Wait, what? Might this be driven by nefarious motives of suppression or ethically justifiable reasons of protection from ontological shock? Gillian Michaels. echoing both executive measures and psychological defenses to avoid catastrophic disclosure. All right, we'll leave that one there. This sounds really good. Was this paid? No, this one's free. This one's with your pass in the Atlantis room. Very interesting. That was the lecture with Dr. Pascal Michael. Paul Smith with a paid lecture or paid workshop, sorry. It's on its way. There is dis, mis, and mal information. And we don't know what's what. Fantastic. In this workshop, you will learn the steps to perform basic remote viewing. You will then be instructed in the associative remote viewing. What does that mean? You will then be instructed in the associative remote viewing process. You will then apply your new skills to predict the outcome of a sporting event that hasn't happened yet. Okay. They're going to put you to the test. You can get tested for your remote viewing skills by a Project Stargate member. That sounds pretty cool. All right, we're getting through it. Experiencing the essentials of remote viewing. Remote viewing demonstrates how our mind can literally view the world by seeing remote places, objects, and people, not limited by location, distance, or time. This clearly demonstrates that consciousness is non-local. Lost your keys or want to know where your best friend is right now? Join us for this introductory participatory workshop that will introduce remote viewing that we can all experience. We all have these capabilities, which shows how our mind can reach around the world and even into outer space. In this workshop, everyone will get to participate. We have had some cases of remote viewing being successful in the Polarity community with exactly what they just said. People losing their keys, people just losing little things that we always just misplace. And other people have been able to help them find it. Fantastic stuff. Where were we? That one, this one. Jason quit. Multi-dimensional experiences, navigating altered states, astral travel, OBEs, NDEs, beings, and worlds. Does the UFO phenomenon, aliens, and contactee experiences emanate not from distant stars, but from dimensions seamlessly interwoven with our reality? Are these phenomena advanced physical beings piloting ships that materialize and dematerialize at will? Or do they exist in a vibrational nature beyond human perception, dwelling in realms known to occult traditions as the astral, locus, and talus? These questions challenge conventional views, suggesting a far stranger and more intricate cosmos than we imagine, where the boundaries of reality blur into unseen worlds. In this lecture, Jason will dive into the multidimensional experiences, drawing on personal encounters, altered states, abductee and witness testimonies, and a rich tapestry of cultural mythology, theology, and esoteric wisdom connecting the UFO phenomena to humanity's older stories of otherworldly contact. What was this guy's name again? Jason Quit. I feel like he's got a few good ones. This is free as well. This is free with your ticket. I feel like he's maybe doing a couple of similar ones throughout that all sound really good. Dr. Diane Hennessy Powell. Again, I feel like this is probably going to be a bit of a rehash on some of the ones that she's already done. The toroidal mind, breath, perception, and the hidden architecture of consciousness. What if the brain does not simply produce consciousness, but helps tune our awareness within a larger field of information? In this interactive workshop, Diane Hennessy will explore a model of consciousness inspired by neuroscience, physics, and the reports from individuals with unusual perceptual abilities. This is a $30 workshop. And again, it seems like a lot of these paid events are designed to help people develop their extrasensory perception, innate human abilities. Let's check out the panel. James Keenan, Dennis Asberg, Dr. Simeon Hine, Kelly Chase, Katie Page, Joshua Kuchin, and Ben Hansen. Across the globe, there are regions long associated with unexplained phenomena and mysterious entities, from beings described in ancient religious texts and folklore to reports of cryptids and giants. These accounts span cultures and centuries. Some locations, such as Skinwalker Ranch, are exhibiting both eerie energies and entity encounters. Okay, so a bit of a panel discussion around cryptids and giants and all kinds of mythological folklore. Eric Davis is giving a free lecture. I feel like that's probably going to be popular. Is the stream all good? Are people complaining about the stream? I think it's all good. I think it looks okay. Yeah. Okay, nothing about this. Just Eric Davis is doing a speech. UAP, the Bonfire of Realities. That's all you get for that one, unfortunately. Whitley Strieber, 5 p.m. on Sunday, is doing a free speech in the Atlantis Room. Whitley Strieber brings his extensive knowledge of conflicts related to contact with non-human intelligence to shed light on the recent disappearance and deaths of people involved in official research into ET technology. Whitley Strieber is going to be talking about the missing scientists, it sounds like. This could be one to catch. That's Sunday. It's free with your ticket, 5 p.m. Lecture with Luigi Venditelli, the maker of the recent S4 movie with Bob Lazar. Luigi Venditelli will be presenting the making of the film and VR experience. The presentation will consist of a deep dive on how it all came about and the technologies and methods he used to build it in collaboration with Bob Lazar himself. Luigi will show a multitude of images and videos during the talk. He will also be speaking of the launch of his Wana channel, We Are Not Alone, which is a new streaming platform that will have some of the most exclusive content of their work and the work of many other filmmakers in the community. I'm not sure how this could be done, but I really hope Luigi somehow makes the environment that he built of S4 in Unreal Engine or Blender or whatever he used to build it somehow accessible for people who have VR headsets. Like, there's no reason. I mean, like, I'm sure people would pay for it. I would pay for it, but like, make this, put it on a server and make it accessible with anyone with a VR headset that they can pay you whatever you want, and we can log in and we can walk around S4 in VR. That would be fucking sick. And there's no way people wouldn't want to do that. So hopefully that's on the cards. Like, it feels like, well, I wouldn't say a waste because the movie was fantastic, but it's like there's a whole other thing there. There's a whole other like opportunity, a huge opportunity there that I think people would love. Lecture with Mass Mike Zelznick, Awaken Your Superpowers. Thanks for the follows, guys, over on Twitch. I see you all coming in there. Join Mass Mike for a fun and incredible experience of awakening and tuning into your own life energy. Learn a very short exercise that will unleash your bioelectricity and completely light you up. Then quickly quiet your mind and learn to tune in and feel your own energy and magnetic field, even outside of your body. The results of this exercise are so powerful that the military and special forces of Indonesia use it every single day. Come blow your own mind and experience more of your true power with VibraVision. VibraVision. Awaken your superpowers. Dr. Simeon Hein, whatever works. Multidimensional encounters, field effects, consciousness, and the physics of the unseen. How electromagnetic fields, coherent matter, and awareness may shape extraordinary human experiences. What if extraordinary experiences, UFO sightings, glowing orbs, intuitive insights, or sudden shifts in perception are not random, but arise from structured interactions between consciousness and the physical environment? This is basically what I said before when I said like, I believe that there is information and ideas exist in a field that you can tap into. It seems like this is sort of along those lines, right? That you can, excuse me, I don't know why I'm burping so much. I've not hardly eaten anything. In this workshop, we explore a model in which electromagnetic fields affect let's go again. In this workshop, we explore a model in which electromagnetic field effects and coherent matter structures may influence perception, awareness, and information flow. Drawing on classical electrodynamics, research into ball lightning-like phenomena, and the science and practice of remote viewing, We examine how certain environments may act as interface zones where multidimensional experiences occur. Kind of like Skinwalker Ranch, like some places around the world, maybe ley lines into intersections of ley lines, perhaps, where anomalies are more common. 25 freedom coupons for that one, though. That was, these are all workshops, actually. There's another workshop with the crystal skull people. We won't read that one again. They have the skull in their picture. So I would hope that they're bringing it. And what, they're claiming that it gives you telepathy and the eyes glow blue? I would expect to see these things happening. Please. Cell phone apps for investigators. The talk explores how to transform a common smartphone into a powerful scientific instrument for both classical astronomy and the modern investigation of UAP. By leveraging a suite of specialized and mostly free apps, participants will learn how to transition from casual skywatching to contributing meaningful data to the scientific community. The presentation is divided into 2 core modules: precision stargazing and tactical anomaly investigation. So you got to pay $25, but the apps are free. So there you go. The Bob Lazar movie is being screened Sunday night. I feel like that'll probably be a popular one. I wouldn't mind watching that again, to be honest. It was really good. Quantum Leap, Stacey Murphy. Again, I think this is every night. There seems to be the same activities in the morning and the night. Under the Stars with Chris Bledsoe. This is included in the pass, which means it's not numbered or ticketed. I think probably the whole conference is going to be here. Pretty much. This is going to be very popular. So 9 p.m. on Sunday night. January 8th, 2007, Chris Bledsoe's encounter transformed his life. Yes, we know the story. We're very familiar with it. Together under the mysterious and starry desert skies, we'll gather with Chris himself to explore the dimensions of our own reality. What will we find when we open our minds to all possibilities? Contact in the Desert has a history of UFO and UAP sightings at the conference starting in 2015. Will they come back again this year? Be there to find out. Included with your pass. Very, very good. Interdimensional sound bath again. Connecting with Oceanic Intelligence again. Come and get randy with the Dolphins Sunday night. And then Sunday they've got Space Station After Party. Which, I mean, there is events Monday, but I feel like Sunday is kind of like I feel like that's going to be like the big final night. I feel like Monday is just like I mean, I could be wrong. I've never been. I'm genuinely talking shit. But, most people are going to go back to work and, people have lives. But this is the last day. There is a few things on, so let's check it out. No yoga that morning. Oh, wait, no, there is yoga. There's no crystals. First event is 9 a.m. Hypnagogia, opening the doors of perception. Hypnagogia is that mysterious state of consciousness that we enter just before drifting off to sleep or when coming out of sleep, technically known as hypnopompia. In this intensive, Anthony Peake will present evidence that it is while in these liminal states that we may interact with unseen parallel realms and communicate with non-human intelligences. $40 to learn about hypnagogia. Fantastic. Intensive with Danny Sheehan. Wow, a lot of paid stuff on Monday. A lot of paid stuff. So this is Danny Sheehan on Monday, the final day. When it loads. The social, psychological, and spiritual implications of full UFO disclosure. Again, I feel like with Danny Sheehan, not to dismiss him or anything, I actually enjoy listening to him, but he's like one of those characters, kind of like Stephen Greer, David Icke, where they just kind of have like their little things that they have really good speeches on, but they never really branch out of those monologues, So I'm sure it'll just be one of his monologues. I'm sure it'll be great. Intensive with Whitley Strieber. This is Whitley's first paid event of the conference. Nothing wrong with the paid event either, by the way. Okay. Deep contact, deep experience, and deepest transformation. What is it like to be involved in a relationship with beings who have greater experience and knowledge than we do? but who are still feeling their way when it comes to understanding how to relate to us. Find out some very deep secrets about how to form a usable bridge between you and your family and the Greys. Is that something people want to do? I don't know if people want that. Man, probably some do. Some definitely do. This will include a description and analysis of one of the few descriptions ever put in writing by a child of what it is like to go on a journey with the Greys. $50. Paul Smith, The Science of Remote Viewing, another paid one. Actually, we probably don't need to read that one. That's Paul Smith. We've seen a few of his events already. He's doing a intensive paid about the science of remote viewing. Now we're talking the inner realms of Antarctica, navigating under the frozen continent. Sign me up. Sign me up, please. This brand new presentation will explore the evidence for the World War II era Germans navigating deep under the ice of Antarctica. Brad will share his latest research from his 11th book, Secrets of Antarctica, exploring the maps and documents of intrepid U-boat captains in this inner Earth realm. Oh, yes, let's go. Plus the reports of Patagonia giants and Ice Age animals being discovered by Admiral Byrd from under the ice. This is the one, people. They're saving the best till last. Nazis, Antarctica, Inner Earth, Agarthans, and Admiral Byrd and Operation High Jump. They're saving the best until last. Isn't it interesting that important dignitaries and scientists, politicians, religious, and notable officials of countries around the world are suddenly visiting Antarctica, a location that has been dubbed the Illuminati Disneyland? How many people actually go to Antarctica per year? Why is there a large no-fly zone near the South Pole? Could that suggest an opening to inner Earth? Yes. Yes, it does suggest that. Or perhaps an ET base. Why was the Third Reich obsessed with their land claims in Antarctica? Is there evidence Antarctica could be lost continent of Atlantis? Do the old maps, such as the Piri-Reis maps, determine the continent was mapped long before the 1820s? When the first sealers and whalers set sight of the continent, these hidden anomalies and many more will be explained and explored. Explore the frozen land of Antarctica with Brad Olson on his recent travels down to the ice continent. Damn, so this guy went there. I'm down for this. I think this is probably one of the ones I'm most excited for. That's 9 a.m. All right, you're pushing it, Brad. I should be able to get up by then. This one sounds good. And then straight into Greg Bishop. Visual information, witness reactions, and art developing a new UAP database. Yeah, a lot of people in the chat loving the Admiral Byrd conversation. Yeah. Nazis, Antarctica, Operation High Jump, Agartha, Inner Earth. Give it to me. I want to know all about it. When investigators question witnesses about a close encounter, they have traditionally concentrated on recalling the observed facts. This information, such as time of day, weather, color, movement, and description of objects and even beings, has dominated the field. This information has been recorded and recalled by the human nervous system and memory, often tampered by varying levels of perceived trauma, eliciting fear, fight or flight, and even physical traces on the environment, and occasionally on the witnesses themselves. Data alone cannot explain the extreme variance of reported characteristics and often lasting psychological effects, as well as the methods by which objects and beings seemingly appear and disappear and defy many laws of classical physics. Okay. Visual information, witness reactions, and art. Nice little combo there. Greg Bishop, 10:30 a.m. Monday. That one's free. The Integratron Intensive. So going back to one of the first events was the giant rock and the Integratron. This is another paid event. It might actually be another day trip out there. That would make sense that they did a couple, to be honest, because it's a ticketed event. It's likely going to sell out. Well, this one's $100. The other one was cheaper. During this 3-hour intensive, host Eric Rankin will provide not only the history of the Integratron's design and construction, but also explain how this world-famous cellular rejuvenation machine was thought to work. Please note the following. You are responsible for your own transportation to the Integratron. Damn. The other one, you got a lift, and it was cheaper. This one's $100, and you got to figure out your own way there. Dahlia Burgoyne, she's back again. She's back again, teaching you how to use your mind sight. $100. I know. Hey, disclosure ain't cheap. The world doesn't run on hugs and kisses. Got to cough it up. Learn the foundations of mind sight with a powerful first step, identifying colors. Participants are guided through simple step-by-step exercises that help them feel distinct differences between colors and recognize them with remarkable accuracy. The training is hands-on, easy to follow, and designed so people can quickly begin having their own direct experience. Throughout the session, hypnotist and psi ability trainer Alex Stefan will assist in helping participants shift into a state of mind where the ability can develop more easily and quickly. I think these guys are running the same workshops multiple times over the conference, which would make sense because a lot of things clash. So having it on multiple days is probably a good thing. Again, 50 coupons for that one. Sarah Breskman. I like the sound of this one. I dropped over $400 on virtual access tickets, world's most expensive staycation ever. Corrupt NPC. Yeah. Yeah, bro. The money you've spent on virtual access, which is basically the privilege or the rights to stream the event from your home, over $400 US. Entire concerts and festivals in Australia, I don't even cost that much. Like actually going to the concert. Cheaper. It's crazy. It's crazy. Past life regressions, journey into the Akashic records. Shout out to you, by the way, for actually doing that. You're a man of the people. Appreciate it, brother. Past life regression, journey into the Akashic records. Join Sarah Breskman, renowned quantum hypnotism or something like that, QHHT, practitioner and author of A Hypnotist Journey to Atlantis for a powerful group regression experience designed to awaken the soul's deepest memories. In this guided intensive, you'll journey beyond time to revisit key past lives that are influencing you today, access your personal Akashic records for guidance, release hidden blocks carried across lifetimes, reconnect with your soul purpose and galactic lineage. $40. A lot of paid stuff on Monday. Michael Phillips doing a free lecture on Monday. There we go. Hang around. They've added a search function on war.gov and they also added some new info, not the videos, etc., but I bet it will be soon. That's really cool. So now war.gov with the UFO videos has a search function like the Epstein files. Does that mean you can search words that appear in the text in the PDF files that are in the archive? Because that would be huge. That would genuinely be huge. From Plato's cave to classified reality, consciousness, the esoteric, and the UFO phenomenon. This talk explores the hypothesis that UFO phenomenon is not purely physical extraterrestrial, is not a purely physical extraterrestrial mystery. Rather, it is a consciousness-based elusive aspect of reality, drawing on esotericism, theurgy, and Neoplatonic ideas with modern thinkers. UFO researchers and figures from within the classified world, Michael argues that the phenomenon forces us to rethink not just UFOs, but the nature of reality itself. In that sense, the mystery may be less about visitors from another world than about our forgotten relationship to a deeper one. That's Michael's jam. Like I said, that'll probably be a very good talk. 12 p.m. on a Monday. Clashing with, though, Simeon Hain, Introduction to Science and Practice of Remote Viewing. I mean, I feel like that one's pretty self-explanatory. Katie Page, Hunt for the Roswell Body. Okay, I'm listening. This one's free with your ticket as well. Okay, let's check this one out. The Roswell body after Roswell, a Denver mortuary Masonic military and judicial cover-up. The bodies were brought to Wright Field, but one of them went to the mortuary outfit at that time. I think it was Denver. For decades, the Roswell incident has been examined almost exclusively through crash recovery and early military handling. Very little attention has been given to what happened after Roswell, particularly the long-term custody of a single recovered body that appears to have diverged from official military channels. In Hunt for the Roswell Body, researcher Katie Page of Rocky Mountain Ranch Research presents original first-hand investigative work focused on the post-1947 fate of one Roswell entity that evidence suggests was diverted directly from New Mexico into civilian mortuary custody in Denver, Colorado. This presentation is built on first-hand video and audio testimony from key witnesses, including individuals with direct professional involvement in mortuary practice, judicial oversight, and Cold War-era institutional operations. These testimonies are presented alongside archival documentation, cemetery records, military medical infrastructure, and verified institutional relationships that together form a coherent and lawful custodial framework. Okay, that could be really interesting. She's done a bit of digging around the surviving alien. Could be, is it the alien interview, the Matilda McElroy one? What happened to that guy? The Time Machine Universe. Here we go. To look at the stars is to look back in time because light travels at finite speed, roughly 186,282 miles per second. The images we see in our telescopes today are actually postcards from the past. This talk takes you on a chronological journey starting from our own celestial backyard and moving outward to the very edges of the observable universe. As we travel further into space, we sync the arrival of light with major milestones in human and Earth history using the following framework. When the light we see from object first left that object, here is what was happening on Earth. Buckle up and get ready for a mind-blowing chronological scale of the universal. Most of the images presented of objects are taken from the sky to a live stream. That actually sounds really cool. It's $40, but if you're into astronomy, stargazing, and space, that's probably one you want to check out. Paul Hynek, again, talking about AI, singularity this time. This guy loves AI. Yeah, another paid one, $40 again. 14 billion years ago, the universe began organizing information into patterns. 3 billion years ago, those patterns learned to replicate. 300 years ago, they became self-aware. On March 10th, 2016, a pattern made of silicon recognized a pattern in a way that had not happened before. And that was 10 years ago. Signalarity, consciousness come home, Paul Hynek's landmark word, co-authored with multiple AI, arguing that consciousness is not an accident of biological evolution, but the universe's fundamental activity, and that the rise of AI is not a threat to human consciousness, but its most dramatic expansion yet. No, he's a transhumanist. He's a transhumanist. In this deep dive, Paul will walk you through the book's core thesis and frameworks, consciousness as pattern recognition, the soul seed hypothesis, the connection spectrum, and falsifiable predictions that will test these ideas in the next 3 years. He brings in the UAP question, the DMT interface, his father's legacy, and the mathematics of self-organization to build a single coherent picture of a universe that has always been trying to know itself. Okay. I don't know about the whole transhumanist thing, but I'm willing to listen to him. I'm willing to listen. A live hypnotic abduction regression from Yvonne Smith. Ron James, Truth Revealed, MUFON Washington, and the Next Accidental Truth. 300K. What is 300 in the chat? What are we talking 300 for? Filmmaker. Okay, basically this guy's just coming to speak about the movie that he's made. Intensive with Stephen Bassett. This is one of the last events. In a moment where history has been written day by day, this lecture will capture the very latest in disclosure process. Stephen Bassett will dive into breaking updates and evolving narratives, making each session truly one of a kind. Bring your curiosity and take part in the conversation for 40 coupons. And the very last thing is going to be a movie, The Accidental Truth. Or was it The Accidental Truth Next? Is that what it said? Yeah, Accidental Truth Next. This is a follow-up to Ron James' multi-award-winning 2023 documentary, Accidental Truth, right? So it's a sequel. The film continues Mr. James' exploration into the evolving understanding of unidentified phenomena and its broader implications. With Next, Mr. James offers his philosophy, capital D, disclosure is not the destination, it's only just the beginning. Being released to the public just a few short months after the highly popular documentary, The Age of Disclosure, made inroads with the general public and the media about the UAP topic, just weeks after President Trump promised to release the UFOs, the US government's UFO files, and President Obama declared that aliens are real. Okay? So that's a movie that's kind of just recently come out. That is every single event that is happening at Contact in the Desert. And I don't think I've ever talked so much straight. We've been live for 3 hours and I've basically been talking constantly. Fantastic. I did say that I would review the meals, and I will. We'll just do it very quickly though. We can have a little foodgasm as we do this. Josh, I think you would have a productive talk with Bassett. I must warn, he is a talker. Well, so am I apparently for 3 hours straight. So the reason why I'm doing this, because the food actually looks insane. So this is the breakfast options. So this is if you want to eat this, you either have to have the Interstellar Pass, which is like the most expensive one. It's like over $1,000. Or you purchase a food ticket per day. It's $104 per day. And then you have access to all of this for the day. The breakfast looks great. Chicken apple sausage. Don't know about that, but I'll try it. Honey battered fried chicken. You know we're in America. You know we're in America when the fried chicken is honey battered. Smoked beef tri-tip. Fresh seasonal veggies, apple pie, banana cream pie, or apple pie. Yum. Man, I haven't had apple pie in so long. Oh, apple pie and ice cream. God damn it. And dinner, broccoli and cheese soup. Okay, doesn't sound the most appetizing thing. Grilled mahi, chicken picada, Santa Maria grilled chili corn casserole, roasted yams. Look, I think the lunch sounds the best for me. All right, what do we got for breakfast? Assorted muffins. Okay, I am partial to a nice moist banana muffin or a blueberry muffin. Yum. Scrambled eggs, smoked bacon. Yes. I'll take some of that. For lunch, turkey sandwiches. Yes. That's me. Steak sandwich. That's me. I love a good sandwich, a good club sandwich, something like that. That's me all day. Waffle fries, grilled veggies, roasted tomato bisque, pan roasted salmon. Yum. I hope that skin is crispy. Cheese ravioli. Mashed potatoes, seasonal blend of vegetables, strawberry panna cotta, almond tea cake. All right. I've only got tickets for food on Saturday, Sunday, by the way. So if you see me on a corner begging for your scraps on Friday and Monday, help a brother out. Maybe chuck a muffin in your pocket for me. All right. If you see me on Monday or Friday, you got a bit of food in your pocket, swing it my way. Boys got to eat. Iced tea and coffee, sliced fruit and berries. Yum. I love fruit in the morning. Fruit is my favorite thing in the morning, actually. Like just a black coffee and some fruit. Let's go. Perfect. You're going to have your mind blown on how much Americans love food. Oh, I think I have a good idea how much they love food. I think I'm kind of aware. $100 a day. What the fuck? $104 a day. And US freedom dollars, of course. Steel cut oats. Yum. I do like oats. Orange juice, apple juice. Yep. Love my juices. Breakfast potatoes. Yeah, the breakfasts are killing it every day. Vegetable tortilla soup. Sliced watermelon. Beef taquitos. Yum. Yep. I'll have the taquitos, thanks. Pizza. Yes, please. Beef sliders. Yes, please. Carrot cake. Coconut cake. Yeah, the lunches are great. And then dinner. Miso soup. Asian chopped salad. Broiled salmon. Flame grilled huli. I don't even know what that is. Chicken thighs. Charred with pineapple glaze. That sounds great. Grilled tofu blocks, chow mein noodles, stir-fry veggies, almond cookies, mandarin cheesecake. Ooh. I don't know about that. Mandarin cheesecake. Might pass on that one. Did Josh mention he'll be here on Thursday? Yeah, I'll be at Contact from day one. I'm a diehard. I'm going to be there for the campus tour on Thursday. And the last day, iced tea, coffee, sliced fruit again, some baked muffins. Oh, wait. Do they have muffins Oh, no, they got muffins every day. Actually, it's the same breakfast every day. Okay. Lunch, Angus burgers. Oh, the Angus burgers. I might have to get some of these. Grilled chicken sandwich, yum. Vegetable wraps, sliced watermelon, potatoes, seasoned waffle fries, tiramisu. Pan-seared salmon again, yum. Penne pasta. I'm so hungry right now, obviously, by the way. Vanilla creme brulee, mixed berry trifle. Yeah, go on. Expensive, but honestly, it does look really good. Like, hopefully it's all at like a decent quality. If it's a decent or high quality, I think it's extremely worth it. If it's like slop, like gross, greasy lady diner buffet style, then it's going to be a little bit disappointing. But given what the venue looks like, I don't think so. Given what the venue looks like, given the location, and given the cost, you know, I mean, look at that. I'm hoping and thinking it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be pretty good. And the last thing I wanted to look at, and I only just noticed this today, is they've actually got some Contact merch, and some of it looks really cool. Like this hoodie's sick. Contact hoodie with a little white alien head. They got some t-shirts with the speakers listed on the back. That's kind of cool. I really like this plain design, just with Contact in the desert across the front. Not the biggest fan of the alien head on the back personally, but I do like the Contact. I like some of these designs. I just don't know if I would wear them or if I would wear the t-shirt. It depends how it fits, I guess, but some of them are cool. I like this one. It's got like a little astronaut on it, like star watching. I don't really like rigid square patterns like that on the front. I sound fussy as hell, but that's why I wear white t-shirts all the time, because I don't like because I am fussy. I am fussy. That's the way that it is. Yeah, again, these are just like female cuts for the same designs, catering to the female audience. Shout out to them. And we got some premium tees. That's cool. I like that. I like minimal. That's nice. And they got some hats as well. And of course, a tote bag for $20. I like the UFO. Yeah, I think they're all really cool. There you go. That's them on as well. Guys, wow. That was far longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought we would be live for like an hour. Well, I don't know why. I just don't really think about things sometimes, obviously. I thought we'd be live for maybe like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then we'd go on Twitch for like an hour and a half. But honestly, after reading constantly for that long, I was really looking forward to going live on Twitch. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow morning, or we'll do it after the show tomorrow. But I think I am going to call it there, unfortunately. But I appreciate all of you guys watching. Again, I hope a lot of you guys are coming to Contact and you learnt what's actually going on. Maybe you found out about a few more events that you're excited to go to. I certainly did. I'm going to have to try and start planning and figuring out what I'm going to go see, what I'm going to have to sacrifice. And either way, I think it's going to be an amazing time. If you are going, I cannot wait to see you guys there, meet you there. I don't know if you saw Pavel's video the other day he put up, and he's like, hey, if you see me at Contact and I look a little bit dialed in or locked in, I'm just a bit neurodivergent and I'm in my own space doing my own thing. I'll say the same for me. It's going to be a wild experience for many different reasons. It's going to be wild just to be in America at a UFO conference, being like a personality there. It's a first for everyone. But I know it's going to be a great time, and I am looking forward to meeting people. So please don't hesitate to come up, say hello. If you want a photo, if you want to stay and chat, I'm all for it. I really am. So I'm looking forward to it. Be good, be kind. Live again tomorrow, maybe earlier in the day on Twitch. Keep an eye on X, Instagram, and Discord for notifications when I'm live on Twitch. They've been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. And see you guys there. Enjoy the rest of your night, and peace.
Eventually people are going to say, what the hell is going on?
No matter how far you go into the dark, when you flip, you go exactly the same place to the light in our galaxy. Everything. Because everything is in balance. Everything is a polarity.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.